for you, 1:45. That means we're going to have the Fed coming up here in about 15 minutes. We'll bring that to you live. We'll talk you through exactly what to expect, exactly what we're going to be looking at as far as what is moving and why. We'll talk a little bit about the overall market, which is making a move, by the way, right now. If you haven't had a look, here's the SPY. This is got some volume behind it as well. I don't want to say anything's been leaked or anything to that extent, but nice move off the lows here ahead of what is to come in just under 15 minutes. 14 to go away from things right now. That's the overall look for you at this point with 15 minutes to go before the Fed. 0.3 for the Dow, the NASDAQ lagging as it has been for most of the day. 0.75 in negative territory right now. With 15 minutes to go. We still have a positive session for crude oil, Bitcoin, Ethereum, both kind of chopping around overall. This is what we're waiting for down here. I'll show you this right now, but this will is what we'll look to when 2 o'clock rolls around. 3.75 to 4% is the target rate expected, which would indicate a 0.75 or 75 basis point increase. So this box right here will populate at 2 p.m. when the rate decision comes out. If it's anything other than 3.75 to 4%, then the market will be going absolutely crazy up or down. We'll let you know. But that is the box where the action will happen coming up here in now 13 minutes to go, guys, as we head towards Fed Chair Powell. I mean, the interest rate decision itself, not necessarily going to be the biggest part of what happens this afternoon. Of course, we get the accompanying statement with the rate decision itself. We'll quickly have a look through that and see if there's anything different or changed in that. And then we'll all sit here and wait for 2:30 to roll around when we'll hear a little bit more about what is to come, possibly in December, possibly going into Q1 of 2023. But 12 now minutes to go, guys.
Yo.
Get locked and loaded. It's almost
We're so nervous.
It's almost cold. I'm actually rubbing my hands because they're just a little bit chilly. But like we said, we just had that big move to the upside, relatively large move to the upside. I don't know if anything. Look, it's nothing leaked. That's not how it really does work. But there is some buying that came into this. I got trailed out of the last position I had. I had some shorts on a Neo and Alphabet and Intel. I got out of all of these bad boys. One of the reasons I just want to be a little bit flat, but it's all about preparation. Like the first thing I do is go to my 15, look for like the key levels. For Alphabet, it happened to get down to 89. What's going to be more interesting for me is pick which. The best trade I had on the last Fed number was on NVIDIA, and there was an opportunity on a big fade early to try to catch some lows. So I'm looking back to 35 in an extreme case, and then 33 are the two levels. If we get a big dip in the futures, and I'm bottom picking, I like these two levels on a relatively strong stock here, NVIDIA up that 2%. I won't be chasing any initial move to the upside. I think that's what got you in trouble if you traded the Fed that way the last couple of times. I want to look for that dip buy opportunity. That's generally been the best way to play it. And then whatever happens, reevaluate at 2:30. Regardless of what the move might be or the price action that you've seen, we start trending off of Powell at the at the bar. Not at the bar. When he's at the podium, then I don't care. If you're making lower highs or higher lows and I want to play off those, just join the trend in that particular time. And at best, just simply don't fight the trend after 2:30. The one time I actually managed not to do well on this was because I was fighting the trend. I like the stock to the short. I think it was probably a firm or something, but I was fighting the trend, just saying a firm stinks. It shouldn't be going up. But everything was going up, and that ended up ruining that day because everything else was good to the long side, and I had one short spoil it. So just stick with the trend after 2:30 to be sure.
We're gonna get a poll up. I don't have access to do it, but I think we should put one. Will the market be?
I got it.
Yeah, green or red? Just the S&P 500. Will the S&P 500 be green or red at the close? Because right now you're basically flat. You're up 0.32, or sorry, down 1/3%. So I think we're pretty even. Definitely the market's going to move here. We just did get stopped out. We had a great Google short, by the way, that we just got stopped out of, but still good trade there for Google. Amazon's been short all day. Short 97. Out right there, 95, reshort the 95 break, out some 94s, reshort again right now, 95, out some 40s. So, I mean, we're ready to rock and roll right now. We've got the Amazon short on, but if we take out 95, then we're out. Not a very wise decision to be in a position before Fed, so we're not going to take very many shares. We're just going to hold on, see what does come through here. It's 88% right now. Let me hit a refresh on this one. 88% it was, anyways, that we're going to see. Yeah, so still hasn't updated at all. This is the Fed rate tool here showing what we're expecting. 12 to 88, 50 basis points, 75 basis points. What we're really going to be looking forward to, though, is the next. This is the key here. It's the next rate hike that has 50-50 right now, between 50 and 75 points. This is the December rate hike that's coming. So, you know, this is what's going to change very, very soon based on what Powell says, what's in the prepared speech, so on and so forth. So that's going to be really interesting. And then, like I said earlier, man, it'd be great to have Brendan asking the questions, because I want to know what this dot plot looks like heading forward, because right now it's 88%. We sort of got that on board right there. So yeah, let's just wait to see what happens. All right, just quickly, we just got more shares of Amazon right here. It's going to hit 95. I mean, the market rate here is starting just to go up, up, up and away. I don't know why that's happening, but people just getting excited. I think there's an overall...
Treasuries are going up right now.
Yeah, I think there's an overall sort of feeling that they're going to be, or Powell's going to be more dovish than hawkish, which means, of course, talking more about, you know, the easing of these rate hikes and just sort of looking at the market just more with, you know, rose-colored glasses than maybe they were in the past. I tend to think the opposite's going to happen. I think he's just going to be real, and I'm hoping so. I'm short, and he's just going to talk about how the market, you know, we're still data dependent. Inflation, the last print on CPI and PCE was horrible, yeah. So let's just see what happens. I don't think Powell's very happy. I mean, the market's rallied off of that last.
He can't be happy about that.
Yeah,
because
like CPI came out and was worse. And the market rallied 12% from that day to today. So I feel like Powell's trying his best to tell us that they're staying course, but
I'm looking dip buy. I don't want to be net short, but I'm looking the dip buy here. So I'm not like there's no part of me that wants to chase this move right now to the long side. I don't feel that's the way to go. But that said, here's TLT for you, making a move back up toward the highs. So that means you have rates coming down. If treasuries are going up, then rates are going to be going down. We still have some time for it to go here, and I will be watching this as well. Like if you start breaking through resistance on the treasuries, and I'm talking especially, can I zoom this out a little bit? Especially, you zoom out a little bit, if we start really taking out the channel, there shouldn't be any stopping us if we can take out levels to the upside in TLT like this 98 that I'm watching here. So I gotta have treasuries up. I always have volatility up as well. I think you want to see what's going on with rates. You want to see what's going on with volatility. Both of these are in a bit of a channel, and you want to see it break up. But know what you want to trade. If you want to trade the Qs, have them up. I think sometimes zooming out, like if you're looking at a 1 minute chart, a lot of times when you're assessing like the big moves, either zoom it out or just put on a 15 or something so that you're not just looking at 1 day's worth of levels. Because if you get that huge whipsaw action and you are trying to play like a rubber band dip buy or you're looking to take profits at a bigger level, if there's a really big move, you got to expand past today's ranges. So I like to have the 15-minute up or a 3 or a 5 that shows me the last couple of days. If you're watching the Qs, there's an interesting double bottom. It's way below here at 65. So if something crazy happens, that could be a pretty decent level to take out. And then anything too tight inside of the range, I don't want to get caught up in that. Like you kind of look at where we sat almost all day yesterday, the nothing burger. I don't like that area. You know, I don't like where we're sitting at these lows. I want us extending to the downside to catch a bid, right? Those are the kind of levels I'll be looking for.
So we have 1,100 votes. Where's your vote going, red or green?
Oh, I voted green because it's been 3 for 3. But that at the same time, like if you get,
I voted red.
If you get even a tiny rally at 230, it won't take much. So I just play the percentages. We've been green every single time that we've had this, so I just roll with that.
Yeah, okay. I rolled red. I do think he's going to be a little more hawkish than people expect, but let's see what happens because there's a lot of runway to both sides, right? I mean, I could see this market blowing it up. Make sure, I don't know how we have 1,400 votes, but only 500 likes. Please hit the subscribe button then and the like button. I mean, we sort of had this discussion that we would ask for more subscriptions than likes. So if you guys haven't hit the subscribe button, please do that. You know, we're here every single day, and we came early on for you today. So
and I wore this for like an hour this morning.
Yes, the cheese head. Plus we have Pulp Fiction going off. Plus we're short right now. Hit the alarm. The Fed is about to release
Fed pivot, no.
Their most recent statement. So that's coming out here in about 5 minutes. We're jacked up, man. We're excited to go here. I've had like 2 or 3
Fed
coffees.
pivot jokes though, because
we loaded up our water right now. So cheers to that one.
I would have thought you would have had like a second cup of coffee or like an eighth cup of coffee or something.
Yeah,
like
I've
that,
had 2 cups, and I still have my coffee from this morning. So I'll have to reheat that. I don't know if it's still good in the Yeti,
Dude, the
or
Yeti?
not.
No, it's probably still good.
I hope it's still good. I'm just adjusting my script order because I did get out of a little bit of Amazon. I just want to stay net short. I do have more bids here. Look, if it takes down 95, I'm pretty sure our stop orders will hit. The only problem is if you're trading this market with us, you got to remember that, like, there's going to be whipsaw action. I feel like the best thing to do, there we go, yes sir, there's another one. We'll throw down some money as Amazon just hits us at 62 and we get a little bit out right there. What I was showing you was TQQ. Someone joked on me on Twitter, shout out to you, my friend, whoever that was. I can actually find it pretty soon. And they said this time hit the right key. Yeah, because when we had CPI, I thought I was short, but I was long. I punched the wrong key on that one, so we're gonna try to hit the right key now again today. I'm gonna trade the TQQs just because, again, it's triple levered. So you see the NASDAQ's only down 0.7. This is down 2.1, so it's exactly levered 3-to-1. So we get a little bit bigger moves on this one. It's only $20. You could trade the SQQ to go the other way as well. So I'll trade TQQ. We don't have any borrow costs here on that, so that's why I choose the TQQ as Amazon right now, 25 pennies in the money. Thanks for all the memberships. Thanks for the, there it is. Look at that, 1.1K likes.
There we go.
We're already rocking right now.
On a roll.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. Over 350,000 subscribers. Let's go. We're getting juicy now, baby.
Oh, we only got a few minutes to go, so keep in mind exactly how this is going to go down. If it's your first time jumping in, as Brendan said, in about 3 minutes, all you're going to get is just what the actual decision is going to be. So we're going to know whether it's going to be 75 basis points, almost 100. You know, we saw the numbers. That's what it's going to be. If it does come differently, then we'll yell that out. If it's higher or lower, you know it's going to be 5 or it's going to be a full, and then it's a little bit of a waiting game because it's more about when that statement comes out and people disseminate it, and then 230 is going to be the big level. So
someone just. Go ahead, sorry.
No, that's pretty much it.
No, I was going to say, someone's right. Next time we're going to try to do this, because Brendan and I mentioned this, we should have a countdown clock.
It'd be nice.
Right on the screen that says, like...
We've toyed with it. But.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying to figure out YouTube. Yeah. We're trying to solve that. So we're going to figure that out for you guys next time. I think that would be awesome if we just had a countdown clock, like Fed in 5, 4. It's not happening, but that would be the countdown right there. As we now have 128 seconds. Is that too much?
128 seconds is probably a little early.
Okay, so we now have 120 seconds to go now as we wait for a party. I think it's just going to be a good time. We'll see what happens here. I don't know if it's going to be a good time for a long time, though.
Well,
the thing is, like, when it comes out 0.75, it's as expected.
Right.
So I sort of just expect...
It might not do anything right away.
Yeah, I expect the market to fall, though, and I'll tell you why. Because just for that 12% chance that it was 50 basis points, that might have just been that rally. Someone putting on maybe a hedge or some kind of a risk-on trade to think that maybe it comes 50 and maybe we get a blowout top or something like that. So let's wait. I'm ready, locked, and loaded. I'm looking short, so take that for what it's worth.
Yeah, exactly. And so we always say this, if you've never traded this before, we tell this to trainees or when they start out, there is absolutely nothing wrong with like paper trading it, just getting some practice in, but these are the kind of moments that you do want to watch, you do want to be somewhat engaged with price levels. Pick something to look at, trade if you can. If you don't want to do that, then you should be paper trading something to get a feel for the moves so that the next time this opportunity is out there, you can go and hit it. You're not going to be in a rate raising or rate lowering environment very often, and when you're in one, you want to take advantage of that. I was having that conversation with the trainee. Like the CPI numbers that have been so good, at some point, they're not going to matter anymore. You're not going to get those big swings at 8:30. So we got about 30 seconds to go in here. The first thing you should hear, hopefully, is Brandon's going to get us what the number is, which we're expecting it to be in line, and then we'll go from there. But if it's a surprise, I expect to hear some screaming around.
Do we want to go to Brendan now? Is that the plan of action?
So,
okay, so let's go to Brendan now because we only have 20 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. 20 seconds to go. Let's throw my screen up. I'll show everyone what to have a look at. It's this line right at the bottom here. So again, this is the target rate expected, 3.75 to 4%. So this box right here will populate as soon as the number is released. In about 3 seconds, we should see something coming in here and the market will move. And it's as expected, 75 basis points, guys, to the upside. So probably not a lot of movement. In the same time, we also get all of this. So here's the accompanying statement. I'm going to work my way through this, and we'll go over to the guys.
And as if that happened, the market rips up, we knew this was going to happen. Amazon has like an insane range right there. Took us out. Then we got long. Like I was like, okay, I'm short 95 there. Long, boom, boom, back and forth. Okay, so we are now into a TQQ trade. So we're going to go short off that. There it goes, starting to blow up. We're going to try to respect some of these levels right here, like days high, 2050, something like that. I don't see how it comes out as expected and we rip, but that is exactly what we're doing. There we go. Nice little upside move here for the TQQ. Let's just see if we take out highs. This seems like it's a little bit of an overreaction to the long side, but the market just turned green.
Yeah, it just went to the green side, but we're right at that high on the NASDAQ. I said I'd try to respect the outer bounds. It never really broke the bottom, but now it's making an attempt at the top. This is 276. If you're going to take a reversal, it's got to be off of a monster level like this. And I'm watching over Google is still below 91. That's actually got some resistance on it, but you're seeing too much strength in some of these names. If I'm going to short, it's going to be Q or it's going to be going to Intel, but I'm not seeing any turn off of this high of the day, the 76. Once we're maybe trending below it, I would like to scalp off of these highs. I usually like a dip and then rip. So here, I think this could be it.
Yeah, okay, so I just want to say right here, so apparently Fed hints at possible slower pace of rate increases. So it's exactly what we thought would wind up happening. Looks like that's what they're doing. They are going to slow the pace of rate increases right now. That's what I'm reading. It was also 12-0 for 75%. So 75 basis points. So there it is right there. We're gonna get stopped out very soon. A couple more pennies up here. $20.75 is that high. So we went short and we're gonna be wrong on the first move. So there it is. So we are wrong on that first move. We waited for that short, but that rate increase thing seems to have been maybe a potential key there for that slowing the pace of rate increases. The NASDAQ, I selected red. So far, wrong. It is definitely not a red move
here. It's also 202. Right? Like 230, I still expect.
I just thought as expected would be down.
I know. Usually the real momentum's at 202. I did try a short off the high of the day in the Qs. I was in and out pretty quickly. Didn't last very long. Once you got that last, literally the second we're disseminating the fact that it's like pretty much all in, it's slowing that rate. That's when you actually had that move to the higher side. But here comes NVIDIA trying to take out the top. This is showing some signs of resistance. Alphabet's holding a lot of strength and has a lot of room to go. Alphabet and Meta might have the most room from the bottoms. Brendo?
All right. There's not a lot as far as different in this. Here's a line, though, that kind of points to what John was mentioning. Fed says it anticipates ongoing interest rates increases will be appropriate to attain a sufficiently restrictive policy stance to return inflation to 2%. Other than that, there's nothing in here that I see anyways at this point that's any different than the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, so no difference, really. I mean,
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm trying to go short again here against 21. I feel like there's always the secondary move. And right now it's just only been an up move. So we'll see whether or not the NASDAQ goes upside or not. We are now loaded back up into the short. My out's going to be 21. And again, on the TQQs, that doesn't really mean anything when you're using, key levels. So I'm just going to go back to some of that high right there was 21 bucks. So this does not trade on, like valuation or anything like that. This is the NASDAQ. So let's wait to see here. It's a triple levered NASDAQ. We are short. We're just short right here, 76. So let's see if it does make a move down. We're making some money back, that's for sure right now.
Rejecting
but it's going to have to go back down to the downside here. Take a little bit out here just to make sure. We'll take out 10% like we always do. There it is, man. Yeah. So that move to the downside just got stopped right there. It was trying to go. You saw that, the market, and now it just completely stopped, it looks like. Let's see where this next move is. I'm bidding 57 to get a little piece out, but I can't even get that. So no real dip buy opportunities yet.
No, you've got no dip buy. So I found something that's rejecting the highs. And the ES has rejected the top, but also this name, it's NVIDIA. Oddly enough, the name I wanted for the dip buy, that just rejected the morning high. I know because I missed that long trade, so I did grab the short on the way back, and I've scalped some out already. And if it pulls back, I think 140 is reasonable. But I am looking for a chance for a deeper dip that I can buy into. So I don't want to be holding on forever on these shorts. I'm going to quickly do this for you, which is show you the ES. The ES got right to 3,900. I had the line drawn, pretty much turned at that even. So that's going to be your early resistance on the S&P 500 was going to be right at that 3,900 mark. And then just checking back in, this is what's going on with treasuries. You're actually trending back up to that 98. Remember I said okay, you're really breaking out if we get past here on treasuries, at least for me, looking at TLT. So if we get past this and we're breaking out, I don't even want anything short. I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen until 2:30 because I would much rather be taking jailbreaks at 2:30. I don't like the longs off the top before he hits the podium. I just feel like you're chasing it, so I still like to play these reversion style trades. Let's see if NVIDIA can go. There's definitely an opportunity in some other names. I'm going to quickly go to Apple for you guys as I hold this short to the high of the day. If it goes past the high, I'm going to get out. Come on, Apple, load up here. Load up, load up, load up. We'll go back to Brennan, and this chart will hopefully load.
In the actual statement itself here, guys, there's this sentence that I have highlighted. If we could throw that up. There we go. So as a part of this, when they're talking about future increases, the committee will take into account the cumulative tightening of monetary policy that has already happened, essentially, and current economic activity. So that is the part that essentially is saying, we'll wait and see what happens with what we've already done.
All right, so that's good. I mean, I feel like they are going to still remain that data dependent there. I've just gotten out of more shares there in the 50s and 60s. So the TQQ and the NASDAQ really is holding their beer right now. It's just waiting. It's waiting for the podium, I guess. I still think the move, this to me looks like it wants to go down, but that's a little bit of bias because I am short. I just think that we're at some of these tops right now. The NASDAQ hasn't been here all day. It's been a nice move. We are coming now near that top, but if we take out the top right now, on the TQQs. I'm just making it simple. I've already sort of zoomed out for you guys where we're looking at 21 bucks right there. That was yesterday's high when we came back in on the NASDAQ there, and then we fell all day. So let's see. But again, today's a different day. It's very, very hard to base something on today versus yesterday. This is a brand new environment that we're in right now. Brendan, hit him.
Here is your red line statement, which is exactly what I just read, essentially. So anything in red here is different from the last one, and it's just that same sentence talking about how they will approach future hikes, looking at current data and what has already happened and letting it take effect. But otherwise, as I was mentioning earlier, it's basically the same.
All right.
I'll tell you what is breaking away.
So I need to find something to go long.
UVXY is just breaking away downside. It's just, it's gone.
Yeah.
I'm out of NVIDIA right now.
The VIX is over.
I'm sitting there wanting TLT to make the break and was kind of going to be triggering off treasuries, thinking that was going to be the indicator. If I trigger off of UVXY, that just broke down. It was actually off a big level as well. So I don't really even want to be looking for shorts. It's going to be, I know it's, look, I could have held NVIDIA and it's actually going in the money, but I'm going to look for places to maybe even catch a little bit of a dip buy there. And one of those might be, we'll see what happens with Alphabet. I think there's a lot of room for Alphabet to run if it does start going. It just needs to be closer to that 90 level. I know 89 is a solid bottom.
Man, it's like I just covered some 54s there, thought it was had a chance to go, and it didn't. So we covered some more 54s, which is good trade, man. We're short at 76. We did get run over there when we went short, but again, the bigger position was right there. So when we got stopped out, wherever it was, it was a hit, but not an unreasonable one for me. So we're now shorting it back and making some of this money back. We can't make it all back unless the market actually goes down, of course. So we're going to wait for that. Good look there on Google. I'm going to go back to the name that I was initially short and short all day and off great levels. And why not? 97 right there for Amazon. It's just like I don't... Honestly, I don't really want to get into anything. I'm already short this market. If I short Amazon right here, then, I'm sort of doubled up. I'd rather just wait to see what happens right now with that, but that's a nice move up. If this market starts to fall and you're not in anything, I really think you can play Amazon short off 97. We went right up to there, 96.90. So if it does rip back up, I feel like that's a decent spot to get short because the market right now is taking out its highs, right? So the market right now is ripping, I can tell because the Qs are back to flat. So that's starting to take out highs and Amazon is not. So that's something definitely to look at here. A short of Amazon. I'm going to put an offer here at 96.80, see if we get one on a rip to the upside. We'll pick it up and then we'll just get out if it breaks 97. It should be pretty simple.
Look at how strong AMD is. I just found something, if it has to be a short, like if we never break out 39 on the ES, then I think Airbnb I'm going to want to the short side. That stock's still below $100 and hurting, but AMD looks incredibly strong there. It's just crazy to see. We'll get to Apple in a second, but it's crazy to see. This is one I'm probably going to favor longs, just like talking about Alphabet. But look at Apple. Maybe this time it'll work. There you go. Apple holding up pretty nicely with this triple top at 152. That's basically 3,900 on the ES. So S&P 500, Apple, I mean, it's the biggest weight. So that's essentially the same level. They'll probably break simultaneously. Just pick one or the other. We get through there, off to the races. Brendo?
All right, stocks upside. That means yields downside in a big way. Here's a 4-hour chart of the 10-year and the 2-year. Huge reversal candles on both. This is the 10-year. This is the 2-year. We actually broke back below 4% on the 10-year for the first time in a few days, at least. Here's the 2-year as well. Same story. Big reversal candle. I'll quickly slide over this, which is the dollar. Not doing a lot. Kind of hanging out, guys, for the DXY.
Yeah, kind of hanging out. That's kind of pretty much exactly what's been happening right now. But we'll go like this. We'll hit them alarms right now. Please, guys, hit the subscribe button, man. We're doing this every single day. Hit the subscribe button. Let's get to 400,000 ASAP. Bang! A lot of new viewers coming in right now. We have these cool graphics too, by the way. There it is. Yes, sir. We hold the TQQ. Ye of little faith in this market. But again, we are, I'm out of about 30% or so, maybe a little bit more than that, about 40% out of that. We just got a nice fill down there, right there at 44. So sometimes if you sit around and you can grab some of these fills, the best part about TQQ, 140 million, 132 million shares today. So lots of liquidity. You can sling shares in this guy. That is for sure. But what a great move up for that market, man. We are up almost 1% there, up to 3,900. We failed. Look at that. Isn't that pretty cool? 3,900, Neil, was the fail on the S&P. So wow, almost 70 points straight to the upside on that release. Well, I'll scratch that. I guess we were at 50 already, but 70 points from that bottom, right to 3,900, and now it retraces on. So hey, I feel like bang again. Hopefully we continue to go to the downside here with these TQQs. But yeah, man, this is the excitement that we're bringing for you every single day. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're on early for you. Thanks again, man. We're almost at 2,000 likes. Means a lot to us, man. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely appreciate it. But right now, you got to find out where this market is going to go. You basically pull back after just running 60 points on the ES. You pull back 20. Look at Apple went up $4 and has pulled back $1. $4 up, $1 backside. So we're still consolidating off the top here. Like, I don't want to chase just about anything. Like I said, if I short something, I like it to be Airbnb, which is getting its butt kicked today. As a matter of fact, they just got into that one. But Apple, maybe not so much. Apple's green on the day. It's now holding a pretty solid level here. And if it takes out 152, you could absolutely run topside here. As a matter of fact, like, we break 3,900. I'm favoring Apple longs. Alphabet just bounced off of 90. So I want to take a shot there. If it holds that, it just made a recent low at about, I think, 89.90. So I'll take a shot in front of that 89.90 level just to get a dip buy long. But I almost prefer a breakout. I just wish it would happen at 2:30. But if it's going to break before then, we can always do a scalp trade. Brendo?
All right, time to look ahead then. We go out to the December meeting as we saw before this came out. This was 50-50, not so much anymore. Now 62% for the 50 basis point hike to come in December versus now just 33% for the 75.
Yeah, there we go. We'll do that because I think that is going to be good for the apes out there that want to go long the market. I mean, anytime you get a report like that comes through and changes like that, it's going to change as we go. So Brendan's going to keep updating us on that Fed rate tool. You could just Google Fed CME tool and whatnot. Did you just say coffee? Yeah. Hell yeah, coffee is life, as someone put in the chat. Thanks so much for that one. Although we did reload on our waters because we're ready to rock and roll. So the next play for me is waiting for Powell to come through. I want to check back on that Amazon. If there's any names that you guys want to look at that are uncertain about, let me know. Look at that call on Amazon. I mean, we should have just... It was at 96.60, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know if we want to go short. We're already short the market, blah, blah, blah. But look at Amazon completely fall down right back to VWAP. Meanwhile, the TQQ didn't even come close to VWAP. So that's how you know Amazon is relatively weak. We have to short this name. Oh, now it's breaking even lower. Look at how crazy this was. Stopped out of my short, then in the very same minute, came back and filled my bid. So absolutely wild ride here on what is the World Series of trading. Yes, you're right. It's Fed Day. Let's keep this rocking and rolling right now. Go Phillies. Yeah, that's right. Big day yesterday for Philadelphia. Glad that the World Series is being played in November. Like, what's up with that? Okay, he's always got news. Let's go, Brendo.
A quickly updated yield curve for you. Look here, guys. The 2-year and the 10-year still. I mean, this did make a move down as we saw, but still unbelievably inverted here versus where the 10-year is way down here. So 2-year up here, 10-year down there on the yield curve, guys.
So I've got the dip buys here. I like Apple. It held the channel to that upside about 151, just a little bit lower than that. I've got the long off of the bottom. I might look to add to a little bit. I also talked about Alphabet there off of that 90 level. So it's now bouncing off of 90. So if we play this back and we retake 3,900, then on the way upside to that, I can maybe get out in front of the highs. 91 is the current high on Alphabet. I'll double check on Apple there. Well, Apple we know was 152, right? We've been looking at that one pretty heavily. So I want to get some shares out on the way up to said 91. If we break the top, that 39, this is the big line in the sand. I got it drawn off there on the ES. On the NASDAQ, I mean, it's 11,450 if you happen to be watching the NASDAQ. It's 11,450, but just looking for some bounce plays here. I think we're just sort of using the ranges until 230. That's generally the way I like to go. I kind of like trying to stick with Airbnb because I feel like if the market tanks, that stock has been under so much pressure today. And as I now have my orders out there, I can kind of go over Airbnb. I'd rather just be sitting in this as long as it wants to hold below 100. I feel like there's a lot of room for it to get back down low of the day. Like this would be my bet to the south side if it wants to go. So I'm sitting in this trade. I'll maybe scalp some inside, but I want to hold a net short position as long as we're below that 100 level. Come on, Alphabet, give me one fill.
I know.
Like it won't even give the first fill. Like it gets up there. I just complained about it.
That's what happens.
It's
if you
weird.
do that, you win.
If you yell about something long enough, that's the worst thing to say because I tell that, whatever. My daughter was listening, she just yells even more, and we tell her, stop yelling. You've got to be able to express yourself calmly, sweetheart.
Yeah, no, my kids yell all the time.
It doesn't work.
Okay, right there. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin touches 20,150. Then now it's at 20,700. So crypto, hells yeah.
Thanks,
thank you,
Cheers
Randy.
for
All right, cheers, Neil.
I know.
Hopefully, good luck with whatever trades we happen to put on here.
Yes, sir.
All right. Very nice. Okay, so right there, we have that nice espresso machine. Makes pretty good coffee sometimes.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Okay, just want to look at crypto there for you. It doesn't seem to be doing too much right now. It just kind of, we'll update it. Ethereum 16 and change. For those of you that want to know, I see some people always talking about Doge. Let me just refresh my portfolio. Right now, Dogecoin 13.5 cents, up just a paltry 114% over the last 7 days. So thank you, Mr. Musk. For bringing some life back into Dogecoin, and congratulations. Oh, where's that guy from yesterday, Mr. Childs? Hoping that Dogecoin goes to 100K there, and then he'll buy everybody lunch. He should buy us freaking yachts.
Was it lunch or dinner?
There we go. Nice little move to the down. I think it was lunch. I think maybe it's dinner. I think we should go for dinner, right? If that happens, and I think that if Dogecoin hits 100 grand, then I might not be here either anymore. So shout out to that. And let's go, man. There's the money now coming in. We just have to be a little more patient with this, and I always say that, don't I? It's like wait around for the trade, get it going. Yeah, what's up, David Childs? What's up, Mile High Daddy as well? That was fun yesterday, man. Hit the subscribe button for everybody. Hit the like, because there it is right now. We're going to get some excitement going through this floor in about a minute. Everyone's super quiet behind us. I hope everyone's
hopefully they're
not
focused.
shut down.
So Apple just broke channel support. So it's broken its support to the downside. I wasn't able to get anything for profit on that one. It's a bit different from Alphabet, though. Because Alphabet's still holding the bid. So for now, you've still got that 90 hold on Alphabet. I'm looking for other opportunities to short. I just saw someone ask about Boeing. Boeing had the investor day, and they're super strong, relatively speaking. I get it. It's at the high. You're going to want to look for something like that sometimes to short from an opportunity standpoint. I tend not to want to fight it. Like the reason I like the Airbnb short is because it's down in the damn bad earnings. I would probably lean to, if we go gangbusters to the upside, that maybe Boeing should be something we look for that long side trade. But you're still just getting whipsaw action. So anything that holds, and that's going to be Alphabet, I'm going to like it even more. That last dip down, we did not break 90 on Google. So I got 90.08. This feels like it's going to be a solid one to hold on to, Brendo.
All right, I just want to sum this up in a nice chart for everyone. Shout out to visualcapitalist.com for this chart here, guys. But this is not even updated as of today, or the last one for that matter. But we're now up here, just to give everyone a reference, at 4%, obviously. But this is 2022. So this is the rate at which the Fed has increased interest rates since the beginning of the year. Remember, this is the fourth straight 75 basis point hike and the sixth straight interest rate hike overall this year. This is 1988 and 89, this orange line here. So the rate at which interest rates have been increased this year, higher or faster than ever before.
let me just show you something. I retweeted this from Brian Sullivan, okay? The Fed has absolutely no clue what they're doing anyways, so it actually doesn't make a difference. He tweeted out here, he said a year ago today, when they did the same interest rate announcements and so on and so forth, or Fed rate decision tool, they had priced in no more than 70, the rate would be at 75 today. And as Brendan just mentioned, breaking through 4, is going to be at 4.9 or 5 coming up. I just saw something that's saying maybe about 5 by next May. But right there, that's the joke about it. So today, now we go that 75% today. So now 0.75, so now we're at 4. But that just goes to show you, even a year ago, these jokers had absolutely no idea what was up, right? So I don't think that they're going to have any sort of a clue moving forward. Now, I mean, these guys were buying mortgage-backed securities when the housing market was literally on fire. So I'm not super concerned about what those guys are doing, but as far as the market right now, we have to be patient and we have to wait for this play to happen. Powell's coming in 9 minutes now, so we'll see. I really like Meta long, and I think I should just flip over to that Meta long. Now it's, I wanted to get it down here at 93.80, but I'm just going to take a small little Meta long now to test this out because we've emptied it out. We only have a third left of our TQQ, waiting for that hero move to the downside, which is kind of why I'm not in any longs right now. I like some long setups, but especially Meta. But I mean, it's hard for me to get in and cheer for the short in the market. I mean, if this market does tank, then yeah, Meta's obviously not going to work out either. But we are now out of this, so let's wait to see what happens. I think I'll just stay put until 2:30. Once he hits the podium, then we got some go time on some of these names.
Yeah, I just took another leg out. The closer you get to 2:30, and you're still inside of the range, the more I'm inclined to scalp that range and then wait for 2:30 to come in. So I took another leg out of Alphabet. It's holding that 9 level. The good thing about zeroing in on a couple of individual names is at least you know exactly where you want to look. Like that 90 is setting up pretty well. If we end up breaking out from the top, when Powell comes in, the trend's to the upside, then I kind of know where the breakout spot is. I know where the stop is likely to be. And then it goes both ways, to the downside as well. That's why I like that 100 level on Airbnb. AMD has got to be, AMD is the one that reported here, right? So definitely should be on the radar. I want to take a quick look at it. $60, monster level. If we do flush and there's any opportunity for dip buys, 60 does make a lot of sense there. And then AMD never even challenged the high. So that's a bit of a sign for me. I saw NVIDIA get to the high. The rest of the market got to the highs. AMD couldn't get there. So it's a bit of a disappointment, and it does lead me to thinking that as strong as that move was up in AMD, if it couldn't even get toward that high, if we do have a fade opportunity to come in, AMD is giving you multiple cracks at it, whether it's the 2 o'clock top, whether it's the high of the day, or whether it's breaking the channel to the downside. And then just to quickly show you Apple again, as easily as we get stopped out, it's right back in the middle. So we're just essentially, we're not doing a heck of a lot after that first move. So if you chase the first move and you're along at the top, you're just sort of gliding out of the money. And there's no need to do that. We can wait until 2:30. If you have something working, that's fine. If it's not working for you, no need to fight it. And I also have Amazon up here. It's got a pretty solid channel.
Oh shit, it's all the way back?
It looks just like Alphabet to me, oddly. Holding it VWAP, not breaking the 2 o'clock top. So you want something that's actually going to break out, and once it breaks out, we can take the next trade there, guys. And yeah, NVIDIA has some different levels, but the reason why I like NVIDIA, I had NVIDIA short if I held on to it. Whatever, it would have been nice. I scalped it a couple of times, and then the last I took for a hit once it was taking out that high. But this is much stronger than AMD. Up 4%, tested the high. This is the one that worked for me last time to the long side. This is the one I want to go back to. It just happened to make a double top, and I saw it and was like, okay, well, I'll short the double top because I like that scalp trade. Now I'm thinking about, I like NVIDIA for the long play, and if we bounce off VWAP, if there's a big dip, I forget VWAP, probably more like 137, 138 on a big move if Powell does that. And if we break out, 142, clean break NVIDIA, this one sets up well.
All right, here we go. So new position alert right now. We'll take Amazon short. We're still waiting for Amazon to get to 97 before we short that a little bit more. So it's gonna have to get to 96.80. This could get run over for sure. It's just we're up at that level there. I know that Amazon's a short. It's just a matter of trying to get it at the right price and then seeing if it does respect that 97. This will be a quick hitter, if you know what I'm saying, because we're gonna get 80s. If it takes out 97, then we're out of this one for sure. I just want to be short something. Well, we're already short, but I just, I feel like I don't want to be in something when Powell comes to the podium. But if we're going to be short, then this is going to be something here that I like for Amazon, because just because he's coming to the podium doesn't mean that we're going down or up. I mean, we got to hear what he has to say first. So that's going to come through right now. I believe the last Fed day, what we ended up green, right? But I'm wondering what that first 10 minutes was like. I always think it's bullish.
I remember us being off of, like, I remember Nvidia, like it had made a bottom, and I was long at 2:30. I was long the higher low. Like it wasn't at the top like this. Like I remember us sort of testing lows, and then there was a higher low, and then that was the reload somewhere like this, and then it ended up taking out the top, and that's what the tremendous move was. It's very different what I'm seeing here. We're actually a lot higher. This is testing higher. I know someone said AMD is also up. Yes, AMD is also up like NVIDIA. The difference I meant was that NVIDIA is testing the high of the day and actually looking to break out off the top. It's just, that setup is a little bit stronger to me. This is what it looks like on the daily chart for NVIDIA. I mean, that's gorgeous for a breakout. And then I go over to AMD. That's okay. But then we never actually got to that high. Like we're very far, we're like $2 away from breaking that same breakout on the daily would be a couple of dollars higher, taking a fresh high. So NVIDIA's there, AMD has to move to there at 2:30. So I just figured I want to be ready for the one that's going to come first, and I feel like that is going to be NVIDIA if the market moves up.
Okay, guys, thank you so much again for watching. We have over 9,000 watching right now. This is a definite record for the closing show. I shouldn't say that. I'm not sure if it is, but I'm going to call it a record anyways.
Sounds like a good
record. Sounds like a record to me, and when it's a record to me, we hit that. So please, guys, hit the subscribe button, man. Let's get some more subscribers on this so you can find out that we're doing this every single day. We also have a free watch list going through. We have the sticky note every single day. That's super popular. And if you're joining us for the first time, we also have a hell of a lot of fun on this show. This was Neil and I the other day, dressed up as Jules and Vincent here from Greece. No, from Greece. Yeah, just joking. Obviously, John Travolta from Star Wars. You were Samuel L. Jackson there. But there it is. Over 400 likes on that picture alone. So thank you so much. Over 400, I mean, just under 400 likes alone for that one. So we have a lot of fun here. Follow all of us on Twitter. Follow @TraderTV.live and get our free watch list, man. Every single day, there's key ideas and names on there, including earnings and whatnot. So, okay, 3 minutes to go. Amazon just went in the money for us 20 cents. We're not here to take 20 cents, obviously, on any plays today. So we're going to wait to see if it does come through. There is some size bidders here on Amazon, but again, no big deal. And honestly, I mean, like I said, we're out at 2/3 of this. When we got these kind of flushes down, we were able to take advantage of that short there, but we got hit early and then got out and regrouped. So got out, regrouped. I wish we didn't get out, but we did. Regrouped it all, put the same amount of shares on again. So made a little bit back because our big trade was really inside there. These were just testers. I put the more shares on when it started to rip up, and then we got taken out, and then now it looks like it's getting more aggressive as we approach Powell. And again, he's going to have a prepared speech to begin with, and then the talk happens. But I feel like Brendan's already, like the speech is already out. So we've already given some of that stuff.
It's the Q&A that matters.
Right, we already know it's 12-0. On the rate hike. So it's 12-0.
There's my short out. There goes 100 on Airbnb. And I'm going to get this one out of the way.
100?
Yeah, it just broke back through 100, so showing some signs of strength. I do still have the Google long. Everything else, I'm looking for the top to break. But look, Li Auto has been incredibly strong. It's up 15%. But it's not going to have as much volatility. I'm sticking to the non-ADRs here. You're seeing them move way more. Like, this is all we got. Look at the range on Li Auto in the day. Look at what happened, and look at what's happening since 2 o'clock. Not a heck of a lot of action there. That goes for Neo, probably Alibaba. And it's nothing against those companies. They were the places to be. Li Auto was the best long probably today if you were trading it. But this is a different time. I think I want to pay attention to big cap tech to be sure, and that's going to be the chips. That's going to be leaning into Apple. I keep neglecting Intel a little bit here. Intel is showing a lot of signs of strength. I've been usually favoring the short. It's now broken above the levels I would like, so it's either 29s if I shorted it. That's why I'm staying away from Intel. It's nowhere near the areas I would like. So it's only Alphabet for me as it trends higher into 91. NVIDIA, clean top break is setting up. Apple 152 as well. So a few of these we're heading to 3,900 right now. Looks like we're going to blast through these tops right as he hits the podium. But remember, it is more about the Q&A than anything else.
Yeah, so we just got in and out there as a fail because Amazon didn't hold, so we'll fail it out. There's our big short, 96.80. we'll lose 20 cents. We got out pretty clean at 97. To me, it was worth the risk. But again, like if I can learn something from this all the time, we say there's really no point in getting into anything as Powell's about to come on. And as I say that, I go short again. So let's just see if we take... Oh man, this is hilarious. The thing is that volatility is here right now. So I feel like you can make some. Whoops, what was that? You could also make some mistakes. Oh, I put the wrong price. You could also make some mistakes here as well. So just be careful. Volatility's in, and here comes Fed Chair Powell to the podium. So it should be really exciting as we're breaking now 230 in just a couple seconds, and Amazon testing again that 97. So I just want to be in this just to see a little bit of a pop up and we're out. I got to get long something.
We're 3,900 right now.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So this market right here is at a tipping point. Look, I was short, man. That's wrong. The long is in charge.
Yeah, Nvidia's about to break. Apple's at 152. Literally as he hits the podium, we're going to get to some of these tops. No break. Oh, there's a turn. Bit of a turn there on Nvidia up at that high. The ES just still holding at 3,900. I still think it's really more about the Q&A, so he's going to have his prepared remarks. If we get a bit of a dip, I could be inclined to take my profit on Google, or Alphabet, I should say. Take the profit on Alphabet because I can always get back in.
Rugged?
Yeah, he's rug pulling it. I just got out of Alphabet.
Piv?
Pivot would be the other way.
Yeah, I'm just playing around. There ain't nothing happening. Okay, what's up, Brendo?
This is, it's actually a little bit delayed here, I'm just saying. So he is taking the podium right now. Here he comes. So my feed is a little bit delayed. He is speaking, though, right now, guys.
I was playing around about Fed pivot. I mean, I have no idea what they're going to do. All right, so right now, here we go. We are short again Amazon. I mean, we're not giving up, man. If there's anything that we are definitely aggressive right now. Here we go. Let's go, man. We're determined, man. This is what you got to be as a trader sometimes. Stubborn. No, that's not a good trade. But there it is, a nice little downside move as we make it all back on Amazon. Let's go, man. Here we go. Nice little move to the downside. We don't get stopped out of our TQQ. And now we seek revenge on Amazon. So there it is, a nice little pullback down. This is the thing, when you lose 20 cents and then you're making 80, all is well.
Yeah, like I said, I got out in front of 91. No top break, actually a failed break as Powell hit the podium. I care more about that 30 minutes. We'll see what happens, how long he's at the podium, but it's all about the Q&A after, and I want to see the direction and make a trend. We have not broken the range. There was no break of the high. If we come back down, I can retest 90 on Alphabet, which I like. And then if you look at Apple, same story, man. You just did not sustain a breakout, so you're still inside of the range, if anything. I want to see some actual direction. We've rejected off 3,900, so the shorts are coming back into play. Trend, for now, is still holding to that upside. TLT, by the way, did make a bit of a reversal, so it bounced and headed back up, which is a little bit strange. On that pullback, Treasuries went the other way. Go figure.
All right. Yeah, I mean, we are go figuring right now about Amazon because Amazon right now is almost $1 in the money. So all good on that one. But the market is trying to figure itself out. It did just bounce off 1350 there on the NASDAQ. So we're going to wait to see. There's the nice little wick off top that we got stopped out on, but not on the Qs. Then we hit it back down in. And now right there's the 50 period on the NASDAQ. So we're going to wait to see what happens right now. We're just double checking. Obviously, he's up there right now. But we have Brendan coming with any news. So some good outs there. Look what we got out, man. 96.13, 96.20. We only have 30% left of this Amazon trade.
Exactly. And look, we don't know exactly what he's going to be saying, but you just want to have a plan of action. I'm only dip buying at 90 even. He is on the podium, but it is prepared remarks. So the market should have most of this priced in. We've already seen it. I wouldn't necessarily expect any gigantic swings outside the range until we get to that Q&A session. I do want to go back over to one big name. Someone was asking about Boeing a little bit earlier. This is why I'm like, don't short. I just can't think of a reason to short Boeing. It is doing its own thing. You just saw a big pullback in the market. Boeing's actually sustaining its breakout here. And ahead of the investor day, it's way too strong. I think there's plenty of places to look for fades, something that's going to follow the market a little bit more directly. You saw Apple pull back off resistance when the ES rejected. You're just not seeing it happen in Boeing. That's the reality. So as we come back in, I'd stay away from this one shorting.
All right, so we're going to trade opposite, obviously, sometimes, but I just shorted Apple right there at 20. It did go 20 cents, and now it's 20 cents in the money down here. Let's see what it does at 151, but this is a dangerous play. I'm not, these are not heavy shares right here. Yes, sir. Let's go. As it's a nice move down as we have Amazon short, Apple short, and the TQQ short. I'm waiting for a pullback upside. So we'll capture that profit there. I told you it's not that many shares. We're going to wait to see if it does come back up to 152 and then watch out for 152.10. That's all. Like, I think this is going to be a good name. We want to be in Apple one way or the other. Let's just make sure that we trade, take some profits when the profits are there. So like the TQQ hasn't been a crazy trade at all, but it has come back. We almost got stopped at 21, but we did not. So I'm going to take this opportunity right now, punch out a little bit more down there at 54. We have the short on, man. We're 70 cents in the money on Amazon, which has been our best trade for the short so far. We're 20 cents for Apple, and we're 20 cents for the TQs, but we are net short right now. I just don't see as anything changed. So I don't know. The market was already on its way down today. Let's just see if Powell can say something. It's not grounds for complacency he's talking about, man. Data has come in stronger than expected, so that's good. But their inflation is still 2%, Brendan. That's a problem.
Yeah, and he's remaining very, very harsh on that, guys. A couple of things here. The U.S. economy has slowed significantly since last year. That's one. We will most likely require a restrictive policy stance for some time. Both of those statements he said last time as well, but the market didn't like either of those.
Are like retesting some of these highs, so maybe this is it. Maybe we'll see what happens if we actually get the breaks to the tops here. I still have the orders locked and loaded if we're going to make that break of the high. Is what it is. Actually, now that I go back to it, Airbnb does seem like it's weak. I wanted to get out of this stupid thing because it broke 100, but it's actually still holding lower. Nvidia just tried to take the top there, so that just tried to take the top. It got to 142. This is still a little bit early, but I'll try to give it a little bit of room. I can't give it all because we are still early. We're above 3,900 on the ES. We are trying to churn higher, but Apple's just rejected as well. So you take a break.
So many rejections.
I know, it just rejected. I'm going to take half out of this break.
This is like prom night.
I usually give it some more room than this, but I just want to trim some. It is like like prom night.
I mean, this is why I'm here.
Depends on
10,000 people watching.
Depends on who you are, bro.
We got it. We got it. Look at Apple. Bang! Prom night be damned. We are short right now on Apple. Big time win right now. Papa Powell is in the building. We're short 152 on Apple right now.
What did he
say?
There
it is right now. I have no idea, but
Brendan
Brendan does. What's up, Brendan?
All right, so he just doubled down on that statement that I read to you earlier, talking about they're going to take into consideration the cumulative moves that have already been made when going forward with future decisions. So doubling down on what was in the statement, guys.
This is what I hate. This is what I hate about Fed. It's like stick to the plan.
Yes, exactly.
I said just wait around until you get an actual direction. Said that the entire time instead of gambling back and forth, and then I gambled back and forth. And that's just stupidity, right? It's like stick to the actual plan. And for me, that is wait for a real direction, which you never actually made. We didn't really get a clean breakout through the top. All you had was now making something after he hit the podium. Suddenly we are heading him back into the downside. So if you want that dip, then it's got to be deep, 35s, otherwise play the trend back in. I want to be back into some Airbnb. I now will say something like a Boeing, after the fact, yeah, now you can short Boeing.
There we go, guys. Yeah, thank you for all the comments there in the chat. That was hilarious. But you know what? We're making a lot here. Apple, look at the TQQs go down. Look at Apple, now $3 in the money on this Apple short. We were very, very patient. Like Neil said, we stuck. I mean, that's the worst part because that's when I get peed off, man. And it happens all the time with the sticky note too. But we stuck to the plan. We were net short. See ya. Let's go, Brendo.
All right, the Q&A just starting here, guys. This is the statement that moved the market. The ultimate level of rates will be higher than previously expected. So that's the one that moved the market down.
Yeah, there you go. So that's the thing. Like, you don't actually know what's happening until something like that gets said. Like, that's the catalyst. If he says something the opposite of that, we're 50 to 100 points higher. That's the reality. And we don't know. It's a coin flip. Like, I couldn't have predicted they were going to say that. But now as you are absolutely falling, and I get it. Like, the thing about Boeing, there needed to be a direction to short the strongest stock in the market as far as I'm concerned. But now it's almost fair game. Like, you want to be thinking about things that are too high. Like double top, Wick 17 on Li Auto. Now suddenly that looks pretty appealing. Like, I wouldn't have shorted this thing because it's the strongest stock that I've seen all day today. But now it's rejected 17 twice, and we've picked a direction which is going to be to the downside. So you can work it off of that high of the day and then continue to go back to the well. Google's now below 90, so that broke support. 90 was my support level. got the longs that worked off 90, no reloads, just looking for the short off that same 90 level. So I'm generally working into position now. By the way, I'll show you Google. I have to hit enter twice for some reason, like whenever I flip stocks. So here's enter the second time. Longs off Google worked, but now you've actually broken to the downside. There's your 90 level. And then going over to Meta. I don't have any executions on Meta. Probably would have given you some pretty solid opportunities to short 95. The channel break was at 94 to that downside. So 94 becomes my resistance level on Meta for potential trend to the downside. And if Meta sees 90 even, I'm probably, like I've said all week that if Meta got to 90, I'd be on the bid. I don't know that I would change that just because of this. That's $3 away. We can think about that a little bit later. But just got into some on the way back up here. So going to look to maybe fade some pops. And I don't want to ignore names like Roblox. If you're thinking about the move to the downside, think about the stocks that are the most overpriced in terms of valuations. This stock doesn't want to load. Oh, come on. There we go. Roblox. There you go. So Roblox comes in, head and shoulders at 45 even. 45 level on something like this would make some sense as well. But if any of these break the top, you got to get out. I don't really have any bids that I like outside of obvious levels like 90 even. We talked about that on Meta. 89 on Google's really not that bad either.
All right. You've already seen sort of the excitement over here. I mean, Amazon, we're $2 in the money, and we covered Amazon 97 short there. We covered some at 94, 95, 94, 95. Like that's actually the price, 94, 95. So we covered some of that. That's $2 in the money. Our Apple cover was, again, we don't have the very bottom there, but we started covering again. These prices didn't even matter, man. We were just roboting this one out as it was because we had a lot of shares on there. So as it came back in, there it is right now. We are still going to test the low, I feel like. So let's see if that can come back into play. We're just bouncing. Right now, it's kind of crazy to use like technical levels. What you want to use is maybe support and resistance, like the 50 period or VWAP or something like that right now. Forget about it. That was such a dramatic move that's probably not going to overly matter. But we're holding on to the short. There goes Amazon right now, $2 back to $2 in the money right now. TQQ, look at this one. And that's what we're talking about, man. My bet, right? My bet was short. We only stayed net short. We never got long during this play. And now we're having a big day. So, congratulations to anybody that hit this with us. But we have Brendo. What's up?
When asked, guys, specifically about the December meeting and the hike that will come, he's basically saying they're going to focus more on the ultimate level they want to get to rather than the rate at which they get to that. And remember, they said the ultimate rate is going to be higher than they initially stated. So that ultimate rate is in focus versus how fast they get there.
Wow, well, this market is moving fast one way or the other.
The quote's wild. You've got to watch the quotes on this.
It's like, even though, so I only have like 10% left pretty much of all of these plays. No, I know I'm watching.
Yeah,
like
I basically scaled the last push to the upside, scaled, and then look at the quote levitation that you're seeing on something like an NVIDIA. Like it's absolutely insane. That's one I got from Luca. So I've already scaled some out, and if we break highs of the day, then I'm going to get out of this. We do feel like if we're below 3,900, this is the thing. There is no trend, and these quotes are wild, but there is no trend unless you're breaking out. Then you're just scalping one direction or the other, and it's the same thing. Like I look at TLT, as a matter of fact, this is UVXY. UVXY has held the bottom at 950, and it's got a top of 980. So you're still inside the pocket here, which does mean scale in, scale out. And you got to be really careful with your stops as well. When I'm seeing this, it is all dark pool printing and in pure quote levitation. Going to go over to Alphabet just to quickly show you guys. Brendan, in a quick second, Alphabet was just getting filled at the low and then right back up at that 90 level. So we're just quote levitating back and forth. Brenda, what's next?
All right, so he's saying, guys, they're going to have a quote-unquote discussion, but only a discussion about a hike less than 75 basis points for December.
Yeah, okay. Let's just check out they're going to have a lot of discussions, that's for sure. Right now, it's 59.34. So 59 goes for the 50 points, 34 going for 75 in December. So right now, Powell's going to have a little discussion with the minions and figure that out, and we'll check back in a bit to see where that goes. But of course, they're not meeting now. This is for the next Fed meeting. So we'll wait to see, man. We've just been sort of waiting. I tried to get shorter again, and it was funny because I tried to get short Apple at 151.60. It went to 151.50. So we just missed another dollar winner here for Apple. Thank you for the likes already, man. Almost 3,000 likes. Hit the like button and hit the subscribe for us if you can. 8,000 watching right now. Let's get those numbers upside a little bit. Here we go. Pull back down, man. We're just resting on the laurels right now with these shorts, looking for some more.
Yeah, and here's another one for you. NVIDIA now below that 194. I just got my reload at the top on Alibaba, but this is NVIDIA just absolutely tanking. Not Alibaba. I say this all the time. It's Boeing. Sorry, guys. I see the BA, and I just say Alibaba every single time. But NVIDIA looking incredibly weak. You saw that breakout. This was the initial out. I'm like, you know what? I don't like this break. It was way too early. And the next out was $1 lower. So if you don't trim there, you get absolutely destroyed. But again, this stock has not broken range. It's actually supporting 137. So we still have, it's weird to say this, but this stock still has a little bit of an upward trend. So I don't want to be shorting necessarily NVIDIA. I'll stick with the ones that are at these highs. It looks like they're coming back in. Alphabet's starting to come back. It was just sitting at 90.50. I didn't even, are you kidding me? I'm on the offer at 90.45. Hit enter twice for Google. Give me a break, stock. There we go. 90.45. It goes right up to my level. Looks like I should have got the print, but nothing. Because you're getting, I'm saying quote levitation, and what I mean by that is you're getting to a price, and you'll see it get there, but there's not actually any printing when it goes there. The quotes are just moving to price level, nobody's getting executed, and then it'll almost put a reverse. So I don't want to be chasing these 50-cent moves back and forth, but if I get back in, it's like every 50 cents there's liquidity. I don't want to add at 90. I'm only adding at 90.5 because I think we can get back to the lows if we're going to continue to flush. So I'm going to stick with this level here. It was resistance before an Alphabet, but getting fills up there has been
starting to levitate.
It's insane. Like you watch it, there's no prints.
Quote levitate right now. So here we go. Some nice movements to the upside right now. We are short again. We shorted Google right there. Again, we are looking to get a little bit more short in Apple, but it does look like this market wants to go back up to the upside. So do not hold on to any of these shorts for very long here in this market, as it is tipsy-turvy right now, and it looks like it does want to go back up to the top side. So yeah, man, just be careful. There it is.
I just finally got a fill.
Yeah, we just did great, man. We just got a fill on Google as well. Nice trade on Google, baby. Here we go to the downside. We're short at 90.20 right now on Google. So good trade downside. Let's start to capitalize on this one. A nice refill there on Google.
Yeah, like I said, I just waited around. Yeah. I actually got the fill here at 30. So now we're headed to the downside. Really starting to get those refills. I also have Li Auto, by the way, but I'll kind of stick to like the bigger cap names that we're all concerned with here. So Boeing's starting to work in the money. Even NVIDIA is starting to pull back. I want to see low of the day. So you're either getting the lower highs for the short reload, or you're getting that low of the day. Going back over to Boeing. And again, this is sort of the thing, like allow the market to pick a direction after he hits the podium, takes the Q&A, and then just work with it. So I was able to get Boeing at the high of the day, and then able to get some out at 152. And that's like $1.50 in a matter of, I don't know, like 2.5 minutes. But getting the fills is not an easy thing. If we do pull back even further, you got to start thinking 150, VWAP, those types of levels. Oddly enough, Li Auto over here, this is pulled back and given me like 20, nice little 10-cent move back and forth. Not a lot, so I might have to strip this one away. I loved it because it was at the high. It was an easy entry point, but it's not moving the way Boeing and Alphabet are moving. So sometimes these Chinese ADRs, they just don't want to go in the afternoon. Thankfully, there's enough that is moving.
Yeah, this has been, what a fantastic day. This might be the best, my best Fed day ever, I would think. Just going short and really turning it around right there. Come on, we're about to get out here. We're in the 80s for Apple. Apple just dipped down $2.84. That's actually where I'm sitting right now. Let's see if we can capture another $2 here on Apple. We did miss. Ooh, it just went to 90s and stopped right there. I'm wondering if we just get a piece out. We do want to get back into Apple, obviously, to the high side. Give us that print. Let's go. We're not getting it. So Apple right now is not giving us that print. But you know what did, though? The TQQs did right there. So that was a great hold to that downside as well, man. I don't even have any stop orders anymore for these names. All right, let's go Google, or let's go Apple. Google's right now is rocking as well. Come on, Apple, just a couple more pennies down. And there it is. There's the fill for us again on Apple as that goes back down into the downside. Staying net short so far has been right, but I'm getting the feeling now maybe we're trying to find bottom. So I'm going to get out another piece of Google while we can. That's only 30 cents in the money.
Yeah, and another name, it's actually at the bottoms. If you're looking for something that's held up really nicely. Tesla 221, that's not bad. I am looking for things that might be hitting the lows as the market gets to 38.40 on the ES. Yeah, nowhere near it on Meta. Meta's actually holding up pretty strongly there. You want to find support. This is nowhere close to it. It might be Tesla 221. That's the biggest level that's sitting on the bid right now that I can find. And when I say sitting on the bid, it's within $1. That's going to be close enough. Boeing's still working in the money. I still favor the reload if we get back up to that top. A few things that could give you a little bit of a breakout. I was talking about NVIDIA a minute ago, but a lot can change in a minute. Now it's below VWAP, so the breakout might not be happening on this. I only like 37s and 35s for dip buys, so we're ways away from getting out of these shorts and looking for some longs off the lows. I'm not seeing anything outside of Tesla that's on the bottom that could break, but the market's still falling here. So I've already trimmed. I'm not thinking about taking anything else off until you get to those extreme levels, like VWAP, 150, Boeing, Alphabet would have to be 89 even. Li Auto's not really moving. I do want to go back to the notion of Roblox, though, because that does feel like one that should be participating a bit more. Yeah, kind of in the middle of no man's land. It would have to be testing that 44 even. We're just going to hold on right now. I think we got the right direction. It picked the direction after we took the Q&A. Now it's a matter of whether we actually break these lows. So ES, 15 points. NASDAQ, 80 points away on the NASDAQ. So the ES is actually leading downside. That's weird.
Yeah, so good call there. I picked red for the day, but we still have a little way to go. It's still an hour to go here, an hour and 10 minutes as we approach power hour. But your boy is definitely leveling up right now as the market goes flush city. Let's watch this graphic. I really like this one. There it is right there. Let's turn that market red right again right now. There it is. Holy crap. This is really getting exciting, man. We're 250 in the money for Apple. We are 250 in the money for Amazon. We are 80 cents in the money for Google. We are $1 in the money for TQQ. So you pick your poison. What do you want to short here? I'm already short everything in this market, but this has been such a monster day. There goes Google. My out on Google is at 31, believe it or not. And where did we go to? We went to 31. And there's the fill. Again, man, the diamond hands are coming into play here. Good job if anyone held this. We got Brendo, though.
Market back to day lows here, guys. When asked on the effects of lagging indicators on future rate hikes, he's basically saying they have a ways to go still on where they're going to get on interest rates ultimately. And it is very, very premature to start thinking about pausing as we make day lows.
Yeah, and guess what just broke out of the channel for the first time? Remember I said wait for some of these things to break the channel? Well, he hit the podium and then things obviously changed. There's my nice little stop line on UVXY. I did take the break of this. I don't really trade TLT, but I do trade some UVXY. So once it broke past this trend line at 980, I'm into the long. It could stall out here at 10 sometimes. And this is the equivalent of shorting something at the low, but it is breaking a major support level, so I do want to take some profit on the way up. But volatility finally following the move. That's just me on the actual chart there. I do feel as if there's something that is not going to follow through all the way to the low of the day, it should be something like a Boeing. Now, remember I was like, don't short Boeing until he hits the podium. When he hit the podium, everything was fair game, and 150 or VWAP is going to be the target. Once we've broken 150, I'm looking 149, which is VWAP. And I'm going to slap a trail on this once we break 150 to make sure that I lock in the profit. So it's still, I know it says UVXY long, but just keep in mind, that's kind of betting that the market's going to continue to fall. Like volatility goes up, UVXY should be going down. And then sort of vice versa, the market goes down, vice versa. And you could be trading like the inverse. I just like to stick to this one. I like to watch one thing here. Sometimes you can trade the inverse if you like it to go the other direction, but I just stick with UVXY altogether. And yeah, Boeing looks pretty solid, about 2.5 in the money here. Alphabet, this is the one. Once it broke the channel, once you broke the channel, this is when I wanted to short. You're at the low of the day. You've chewed through 89 even. I think we could see. Look, I don't want to say, you know what, I hate saying numbers out there because 86 was something I talked about last week. I don't know if we get there or not, but UVXY through 10, anything can happen. My next resistance on UVXY is another 2% to the upside, so a lot could happen here.
I mean, this? I don't even know what to do anymore. Look at this Google trade. This is just like as if we're living in like a dreamland right now, some of these trades that we have on board. I have like, the lowest winner I have on right now is $1.80. Like we have TQQ in the money $1.50, Google $1.80 right now. Amazon It's only $3 in the money. Apple, $4 in the money right now as we make these new lows right there. So honestly, at this point, man, I'm just gonna hold out for this, see what happens. I don't even need any outs. I just took one on Google because I came back, sat back down and was like, huh? How crazy is this name? Just Tank City right now. I want to thank everybody for watching, man. I hope you learned something today. Stick to sort of what you were thinking, man. Play off key levels, and the rest is history, really. I mean, that's what we did on Apple here. Look what we talked about. I was even saying about how key patience is, right? Apple gave us this 152 high. That's that. So we went short when it went into that and never went against. Well, I don't know if it went against us, it went against maybe 10 cents. And then the tank just happened. And there it is, a nice little move to the downside. I feel like we do have to cover at some point. But honestly.
I just got trailed out of something.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I mean. I mean, you are going to get.
Boeing.
It's very. I don't use trailing stops, especially in these kind of situations, but if there are key levels that you have, nothing wrong with saying, you know what, if Apple retakes 148.50, get me out or something like that. So I think you got to have plans of action.
I think the difference, Apple's down 1.8%. Boeing's up 5%.
Yeah, Boeing's a
You know what I'm saying? Like, Boeing had Investor Day, and then last time I checked, higher low, trend to the upside. Didn't even get to VWAP. It actually broke down, bounced 150, and then trailed me out. I said that's what I want to do. Was able to get 151 out. The initial short, when it broke down, that's a bit of a scalp play. But once you got that high of the day, that you want to make sure you bank on this. But that was sort of the patience, waiting for it to get back to that high. Oddly enough, Li Auto, which I said was doing nothing, it just accelerated a bit to the downside. But it's very similar. Like, I want to get out at VWAP if I can on Li Auto. And I wasn't really bidding on this yet, but I'll plop a bid down here. If I can see VWAP, I'm going to get out. I'm not reloading this off the high of the day. I feel like if we get back to the top on a stock like Li Auto and the market's still near these lows, I don't want any part of it. Like, you're able to capture the move because it was hanging at the top. And that's the thing. Like, you saw me until there was an actual direction at 230, I didn't want to do anything except the scalp trades I was already in. And what you have the opportunity to do is if you find something at the high and then the market picks a direction, well, it's probably going to give you that move. You don't have to worry about waiting for the breakdown. You're already shorting it off that high of the day, but it's knowing what was at the top. I knew Li Auto was at the top. I knew Boeing was at the top. So there were places to go. UVXY is a breakout style trade for me here. I only do it from time to time actually trading on this, but when I see a level like that go, I usually want to see the spike. I've taken 60% out. If it holds back at 980, then I'm going to hang on to this for a 10 break, and then we can get that continuation. But really, this is no different from a bet on the short in the market here. So if we are at the bottom, I don't want to hold this all the way back to the lows. Like, I'm only risking essentially 3 pennies on this UVXY. Add 1 for slippage.
All right, I'm just tweeting a couple things out here, just so you guys can see the kind of trades that we had on board here. Apple, Amazon, we didn't tweet out this Apple one yet as well. Just trying to stay net short here as we go, so we will tweet that out. Apple's now $4.50 in the money, man, and still going down. Our net is really starting to take off here. So, I mean, good trade. I mean, all the charts look the same, and I think what Neil said is exactly right. I mean, go over to a name that, you've seen the chart do this, and I mean, that's what we did. So we just went right over to there, found this one, man, shorted Apple, and honestly, the rest is literally history on that. I want to give a big thanks to everybody here for coming through. Big thanks to Sean McKenna. Thank you so much. Right there. Interesting way of spelling Sean. I've never seen that before. Thank you so much for the $6.99, and a big shout out here to the Bomba right there. Good game market. Yeah, for sure. Cut my 390 same day expiring calls at high day and added to my long-term puts. Congratulations on that one. If you're adding to your long-term puts today, you get a little bit of a relief here because now, remember when I said which way, this is what I'm talking about, just being confident. The day's still young. This day, it could still go up. But there we are now down 1.2% on the ES. Looking for a little bit of a bounce move here. We got to get out of something. If Amazon goes back up through 95, then we're getting out. But I think like right here, 94.60 is pretty good also. So yeah, man, definitely a good day. But don't rest on these trades. They could always bounce back.
Yeah, you should always have an out. I'm eyeballing that Alphabet 90 level. We'll see what it does there. I don't want to have a hard stop or a trail at 90, but I want to see how we react to that price. UVXY is already back to even. I took 60% on. I'm willing to give a little bit more for the high. I have SoFi up because it got close enough to $5, and I was looking for shot plays like good risk to reward off of the bottom. This is down 10%, so it hit SSR down that 10 and is trying to make a bit of a bounce. If it revisits that low, it is pretty tempting to just jump onto that bid. And another one here, I know I'm already into Li Auto, but the $10 level on NEO, I certainly could have just gone to the 10 level on NEO from earlier. This broke 10 right at 2:30. He hit the podium. You broke 10, rejected the high. And look at that fade here. Now, Li Auto ends up giving you about the same trade. I would argue this would have been an easier one to put on because you're just essentially respecting the day's high and you're shorting off the 10 level, and now you're back to 975. So that probably would have worked. I actually had traded this before, so I would argue I should have done this instead of Li Auto. Brendo?
All right, just to sum up here, guys, a few things of note. There's not much coming through right now that's very important, but 2 points anyways. The thought, they're still saying it's too early to even think about a slowdown at this point, and the discussion to talk about when to start slowing in interest rate hikes will only begin in December. And they also said they keep looking for signs of softening in data points that are coming in, but they haven't seen any yet. Remember, the next CPI number is next week. So the 10th, mark that down, we'll get the next CPI number, which is that next data point, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, data points be damned.
CPI only matters when we're in this kind of in this particular environment. So you take advantage of these moves when they happen. If you trade long enough, more times than not, Fed rate decisions, there's nothing happening. But you only get this a few times, right? We're going to get this for probably, the rest of the year, and next year it might be a little bit less exciting when you get these numbers. It'll still be market moves, but not necessarily driven on this particular day. So it looks like that 89 is getting challenged right now on Alphabet. If you're looking at the ES, it's still holding off of those lows, and NASDAQ churning, and Meta, which Meta actually held the bottom at 92. 92 has been a pretty solid level for Meta all week long. It's been holding this 92, so it's got a bit of a double bottom there. If you like longs off the bottom, I think you could do worse than Meta. It feels like it has a long way to run, but it is still relatively weak. So I don't know if I want to be chasing it here. I'll just stick with what works. UVXY, as a matter of fact, it pulled back, looked like it was going to stop out. Now finds support at that breakout price, that 980 level on UVXY. Still channeling in on that. I want to hold this. Either it breaks back down and stops me out, or I want it breaking the top. So what I have left on, I'm not looking to scalp it. I've already scalped out here. If it breaks to the high and rejects it, fair enough. I want to give it to break even. I want to see if we can really continue this move. At this point, you've either paid yourself or not, and if you have, I'm looking to hold the rest.
Yeah, unbelievable moves, man. I just put some stop orders to get out, though. If we take out some of these highs, then we're just going to get out of all of our trades and then just regroup and probably think about going long. So let's review that right now. Apple, if we break 148.60, we're going to get out. That's $1 away. So there still is some downside moves here, hopefully coming for Apple. For Amazon, very, very similar, man. Up here, 94.60 or so is going to be our out for Amazon. Sorry, 94.80. We're actually using the 200 period right there for Amazon as our out. The TQQs, I actually don't have an out for that. And then Google right here, we're going to try to use the same thing. 89, what did I say there? 89.30. So right there for Google, if we break a little bit higher than this mark right there for Google, we are going to get out. So the only one that I feel like I'm going to regret is the monster, and that is Apple. You can see what Apple's doing right now. We've already shorted Google, right? Like Google's been absolutely taken to the woodshed by us. So that has been a good trade all day for me. We shorted early. We got taken out there right before the Fed. Then we shorted it. We've been shorting this yesterday, shorting Amazon all day long as well. Please hit the subscribe button if you're watching us right now. Tesla also, man, this is another name. Obviously, this name is, I don't know why I'm saying obviously, but they're down almost 4% right here. And that was a pretty dramatic move, man. Straight down $8. I mean, this is another thing. Oh, well, lesson learned. It doesn't matter. We absolutely destroyed all these names today, but it's this play right here. Like we could have, this looks exactly the same as every stock. These clean tops, right? Like, it's too bad that my mind was only on Apple and not on Tesla, because we would probably have a $10 winner or whatever this top is. What is this, 226? We would be short 226 here against 227 any day of the week. And we would have right now like a $7 or $8 winner on for Tesla. But that's the same kind of a look right there. And if you're just sort of flip this around, right? You're kind of basing out the same way right now. So that's why I feel like it is important to have an out. If I was short on Tesla right now, that 220, it stopped on there a couple times. That's looking like a decent out as well, especially because it's an even number. So I'd be looking at Tesla there at around 220. But I'm just going to, honestly, I have my outs. Now I'm just going to hold. I mean, if I give some back, I give some back. That is what it is. But for right now, this has been a big day, big trading, and I'm just going to try to hold on to this.
Yeah, so I got trail on UVXY. The other two of holding on there, Li Auto and Google. But one thing I wanted to say is, if you remember the last two times when we had upward moves in the market, that was exactly the wrong time to buy. Like if you bought when we rallied off the rate increases the last two times, you got burned. So it's interesting. Like if we actually hold these lows and then negative, could this possibly signal another one of those rug pulls? Like trick everybody into thinking that we're heading lower, and maybe some of these are value plays. That makes it really interesting for names like Meta and Alphabet that have gotten absolutely destroyed. The lights just flickered here. That's a bit of an ominous sign. But Li Auto here, we're going to have a trail at 1670. Google feels a little bit better to hold on to. I'm very intrigued by SoFi. I just happened to pull it up. It is SSR at this point. If it gets down to $5, that's more one of those pure scalp trades that we go into. And I love what you said. Leroy Jenkins was talking to somebody in the chat there, and I didn't catch the name. But what they were basically saying was sometimes the best thing you can do is if you get stopped out and it immediately rejects that level, is get back in. Because when the market started moving, the first stock that I said I want this one to the short side and I want to give it to 100 was Airbnb. Now for myself, I took some out at break even when I got the first entry away from that 100 level. But when I shorted it here, I had my tight stop. So it's like, okay, in and out. That's really not that bad. But sometimes if you get stopped out, the best thing you can do is get right back in. Airbnb is at the low of the day. So it is one of the weakest bigger cap names you can find, and it has maintained that right on these lows at 97 even. And I'll do you one better. Airbnb, if we hold below 99, this has another 10% gap into the June lows. So that's a bad report that is trending to that downside. This should be pretty good for tomorrow. As long as we hold below this 99 area, I'll be looking short again on Airbnb. But I got to show you that I bungled the short on Airbnb. It doesn't look terrible when it comes to the outs because you're essentially in and out flat at each of these levels. But got to be able to jump back into it when you like that name. I never really liked the long in a stock it's going to be that far to the downside. You want to make sure you're working it the other way. Alphabet, like I said, hang on to it. You're still barcoding off the lows. If it breaks out of this channel up here, then you want to make sure you take some out. But if we take out the bottoms, 86 feels pretty reasonable to me. And if I had to pick something, that is trying to make a good bounce, it's got to be risk to reward. Like Meta's giving you good risk to reward off the bottom if the market's going to bounce here because you only have pennies to that low of the day. Whereas if you long something that's too far away, then your out is just not reasonable there. So I'm going to hang on to Li Auto and Google. If I do take something, it's Meta bouncing off of this 92.5 level that we're currently seeing here. And thank you, is that Shado or Shado, for his first super chat. We appreciate them all. We appreciate even more growing the community. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Brendan?
All right, we're going to take a pause here, guys. We'll do a little bit of a review. I still have Fed Chair Powell in my ear. If anything comes across, we'll jump back to the overall market. They're talking right now about just more on the housing market and employment and what's to come over the next couple of months. There was so much to look at today. If you joined us in the pre-market, make sure you're doing that every single day. We cover everything, get you set for the open at 9:30. Sean's going to review one of his trades from this morning right now.
What's up, guys? Your boy is here for the trade of the day. Make sure you hit that QR code below and start your prop trading journey today with the best prop firm in the world, Day Trade the World. Check that out. So look, I'm just going to make this real simple. I actually have it up still right now so we can watch it on the side. It's Amazon. You can see here, we have actually had a poll up. I thought we were going to be red today after the Fed. Let's see if that holds. We are red right now after going up almost 1.5% right away on that number right there. Boom to the downside. We have it. But let me talk about the trade of the day first. This was Amazon yesterday, okay? So we actually had this short. They're not showing up, but this was a big short yesterday and a pretty easy one. So guess what we had today on? I don't have it with me here. I want to show you a bigger chart, but on our sticky note today, we were definitely looking at Amazon. obviously, look at this move down. So we start the day right here with a quick short. We let it develop, and this is really, I've changed over my pattern of trade a little bit, and being patient off the open has paid. So it gives us that short right here at 97.50 was about the high. So our very first short of the day kind of starts at 96.50. We were going to get out if it broke 97. There it comes flying down, and our best outs at that point is 95.50. Let it fall all the way down. We have to do a little bit better and hold our stock. We don't do that so well, but we wind up holding about 10 or 15%. I can't remember what it was for that break all the way down there, 94.50. We're out. So right away, off the top, that's a $2 winner instantly for Amazon. Not instantly. I mean, it took a bit of time to get down there. Then we reshorted a 94.50, 94 break and capture all that profit again. Then we reshorted again. But the problem with this short, of course, was it was right at Fed. And we talked about that live on the show, that holding a position into Fed is a little bit nuts. And I'll show you why. Look at this first candle here. This is a 1-minute candle. Amazon goes all the way to 9. This is right at 2 o'clock. Amazon goes all the way to 96.50 and then drops down to 94. It had a $2 range in 1 minute. So we let it settle down, man. We let it settle down. As it rips up, we just look back again. This is what we were talking about on the show. Understand your levels. Have a plan. Know what you wanted to do. I shorted Apple, Google, Amazon, and the TQQs. We were really net short, really heavy into the short. And there it is again, average in, all the way up to 97, still respecting that same high. And boom, it just falls all the way down. We actually just got out of our last piece right there at 94.80. We talked about that. So we do miss the very bottoms at 94, but these are 97 shorts. We just took $3, not a bad trade. The purpose of this lesson, sort of, is stick with the ideas that you have. There's not one long trade here in Amazon today, right? The Fed came out, we could easily flip long. Like if it takes down this level, then you can flip long. But for me, I'm gonna still wait for shorts and short the pops. We did it on a bunch of names. We're probably out now because you see the NASDAQ just made a little run back up there. But watch out for your levels. It's Fed day, tons of shorts, tons of exciting trades. I hope you made a little bit of money. That's your trade of the day.
What a day. What a day full of opportunities. A ton of those were on the watch list this morning. Make sure you're grabbing that. If you're not, hit that QR code, enter your email address, comes right to your inbox every single day for free. If you're joining us for the first time, guys, welcome, first of all. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I was just having a little bit of a laugh there. Somebody actually asked him if the positive reaction from the stock market is something that he will consider going forward. I guess our quote hadn't updated yet because, hey, we're negative at this point, guys.
They're not supposed to care. It's not in their mandate. But that's it's like, why would you ask him a question that everyone in the world knows the answer to? Like, what's he supposed to say in that moment? So Meta, look at what happened. I was talking about like Meta and SoFi and take things off the lows. Well, I grabbed some SoFi on that bounce. That's like 2 cents against me. But Meta does bounce. I was able to get some shit, but I should have had it closer to 50. It did spike up to 93, so you are getting at least a little bit of an opportunity. And then the difference is this is off the low of the day, so if it breaks the low, you know you want to be out. But then look at something like, oh shoot, not Nvidia, but look at something like Alphabet. Like Alphabet just came, stops, doesn't even get close to VWAP, so it trails me out. And if anything, I'm starting to think, where can I get back into some of these? Because all it did is trail me out of there and then head right back toward those lows. So still in the Li Auto trade, that actually never trailed me out. And as I said, Meta got a little bit of a scalp bounce there, but if it breaks the low, you gotta get out of Dodge. And then you start thinking about if we take out these bottoms, look at Tesla, man. So it broke that 221, then it held that 221. Like, what does that tell me? What's the big level on Tesla? 221. So Meta's probably the only one I do like. SoFi, it's pretty binary. 510 is the low of the day. I'm long at 516. If 510 breaks, I'm going to be out of SoFi. I'm not even waiting around for that even. But if it was one I liked for that long bounce off the bottom, it was going to be Meta. So let's even get to VWAP. I'm not sure I even want more than VWAP at this point. That would be about $1. If we get $1, great.
Yeah, I like Meta. I want to average into that one as well. We're out of absolutely everything. Our Apple got out. I mean, I had to put stops in when we went up to the trade of the day. So unfortunately, I don't know if I would have done that, but that's why I went over everything with you guys on where I wanted to get out. So we'll get stopped out of Apple. Hey, Apple's only a 350 winner. So, you know, we'll take that. Amazon, we're out of that as well. Same kind of a trade. We just talked about that on the trade of the day. And then what else did we get out of? Apple, Amazon, Google was the other one. Neil just talked about that. We got got stopped out there at 89.20 as well. So, you know, again, I had to have some outs. But the good thing about this is the thing. This is why you want to put on, you know, shares that you're comfortable with, but always hold enough that you can take some out, right? So, like, we basically have the bottom on that trade. So that's like the only name that we're able to get out on the bottom there. So that was Google. So that was a good trade, but we don't have the very top. So, you know, we have the bottom, but not the top on Google. I'm going long Meta for sure against this 92.50. So that you know, might lose. We'll see if that comes into play right now. But, you know, like Neil said, I'm the same way, man. I'm not going to scalp this out for 30 or 40 cents. But this 93.50, maybe we could take a piece out if it gets to that. But right now it's coming back in, so maybe that does not happen. One other name here I wanted to look at, if you guys were trying to bottom pick right now, AMD is right here. Its low of the day is 59.90. So I don't want to get like too excited here because we've already got taken out of our shorts. You know, by that move, that last little move there. So I am going to try to push a couple longs just to see, because I feel like there are some bottom levels right there. So we will go long now on AMD right here at 22. Hopefully that can ring some registers. I will take some out if we get back up like this 60-60. Like, we can go back into scalp mode now, right? I mean, the market's sort of digesting what was just said. We do have an out lower. So again, I think this is 1-to-1, right? We're going to have an average price. I got to get into this more, but we're going to have an average price.
It's 92.50.
Yeah, of around 60, 90. What's that? 90?
Meta.
Oh, Meta. Yeah, I have my stop order in for that one, so hopefully that fills. But yeah, right now, Meta getting spicy.
Yeah, so I didn't realize you weren't looking at Meta at that moment, but it is down back toward that 92.50. So I did get some out on the way up there when it got to 93. I'm now back into it. Nvidia has reclaimed 137. Not very convincingly, but it is at least back at that 137. It does feel like we're rolling back over, man. And that's sort of the thing. Like, I only have Lee Auto to the short side, but it really feels like we're rolling back over. I go back over to UVXY, which is right at my line in the sand where I'm not supposed to be picking a direction. So it's right at that 980 entry point I have. So volatility's not making a move, but I am seeing us head back into the downside. And I'm looking for something that I can still short off these levels. We're back below 89 on Google. And then I look over at Tesla. Tesla, 221, now headed back down to low of the day. So, I mean, I only got one short here. If we break the low on Meta, I'm out. That's the reason I like that level. It's pretty clean. It's about 25 cents worth of risk on Meta. If it breaks, it breaks. Tesla probably missed out on this one. Lee Auto is heading, I should have reloaded this on the lower high, but I'm still waiting for VWAP on this one. It has to go. But there's Meta. Low of the day gone. I'm gone. And here comes the low on just about everything. Amazon, Google, not SoFi. I guess SoFi doesn't really give a darn. But also NVIDIA. There's your 137. We're headed back into the bottom. I only like longs above 137. So this one's going to be gonzo. Just hold on to whatever shorts you have left, I guess.
Yeah, I would say that's probably right,
Shouldn't
as I'm all long right now. I don't know. We'll see what happens. AMD right here, we are pretty much loaded up. I don't have too many more bids here. I have no more bids, actually. What am I talking about? If we break back down below 60, we can get out of that one. 60, 59.90 is the bottom there. So you guys can probably guess where my out is. What's up, Rendo?
That's it. That's all. Fed Chair Powell has left the building, guys. That is the Q&A.
Okay. That's not good. I don't want him to leave the building, and I'm stuck long here because I was hoping that he would say something that might change everybody's opinion. So not good. I think the market does fall now. So we have our outs, man. We're going to get stopped out of AMD very, very soon, it looks like, and give a little bit back. We should have never got stopped out in the first place of all of our shares, but, you know, we tried to capture some profits.
It's a problem with trailing stops.
Yeah, there goes AMD to the downside right there, taking out 60. So we're out of that one. That was just a quick test, but still not good. And then we have Meta long right here against 92. That might not be good either. But let's just test the waters here. He's gone. Let's see what happens. It's generally, it kind of keeps with the momentum. So, you know, I don't know what's going to change everyone's opinion here, but we're long Meta right now at 50 cents worth of risk.
So I'm holding Lee, and I still have that SoFi at the low of the day. But this happened while you're doing the trade of the day, so I wanted to at least quickly acknowledge. Thank you, True Trading Group, guys. Another 50 free memberships gifted. You guys are great friends of the show. They have a stream coming at 4 o'clock, so like after we're done, you can always pop on over and check them out. So thank you very much there, Mike. I'm assuming it was you. But let's go back over. We got a super chat as well asking about Roku. Roku reports tonight. Am I looking at it? 100% I'm interested in Roku. Whenever they report, it's going to be a mover to be sure. I was just watching Boeing to see if I get it off the high of the day. But that's a move for tomorrow. Let's focus on that when it moves tomorrow. I think there's bigger fish to fry. We still have 40 minutes to go here. There's plenty of market left. I just hit enter for Amazon. Amazon's literally at the low of the day.
Yeah, this is.
So there's so much of. We talk about trailing stops, and I find if you use them, it looks like a genius when you catch the turn, and then when you trail out of something like a Google, it looks terrible. But that's what's going to happen to you. I don't like taking bottom breaks here. I'd rather hold on to what we have. But here's the thing about a trailing stop. So I trail out of Boeing. That looks fantastic. I trail out of Google, and it looks absolutely terrible. You've got to just make a decision and stick to your decision. At the time, it felt like the right thing to do. He was going to get off the podium, could still be holding that short. But if you don't make a decision and it goes the other way, that's what you can't live with. If you leave something on the table because you made a call and you feel like it was the right call, nothing wrong with that. But if you go against your gut or don't follow your rules and it loses, different story. You're going to hate yourself for it. I've got to clean up this little wick here. Ooh, it'd be nice if you could have just shorted Google at 100.
Yeah, that would have been great. Okay, so we tried AMD a couple times there. It kept breaking lower, 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 so now we're out of it. Finally, we tried it again. We tried it first time at 60, then we just tried it again. This last one was okay. It was just basically in and out there, so didn't hold the bottom. I'm already long Meta here, so if there is going to be any sort of a pullback, this is the one I'm hoping it to be. We are really in the money on the TQQs, man. This is a name that we've held. It's all the way back down to the bottom. So this one we've actually held. All the outs that we have are going to look horrible now. Right there for Apple, we got out $1.50 ago. Oh man, like my net has sort of turned around. Well, we're still net positive. It's still my biggest day of November, as it's the second day of November today. You know, so we'll have to wait. But that Apple, good turnaround for that name. Like we literally got out at the top there. Oh, that trade of the day. But we had our outs anyways on that one. And now we're going to watch Meta as it's trying to test 92, which is its 52-week low. So many names right now are back down at these lows. We already talked about Canada Goose earlier. Amazon's way at its low, man. Its previous low was 96. You're at 93 right now for Amazon. Like, look at that out, man. That was $1 ago as well. Damn it. And now we're sitting here.
Every short is
just tanking in right now.
As if Leonardo's the one I still have.
Like, yeah, Meta's trying to hold, but it doesn't look like it wants to. There's the break of 92 there as well. We just got to get short something. It's pretty simple.
Like it's the irony of having the one stock that's like up like 15% is like that's the one I still have. It's 13% now. But Tesla just broke the low of the day. That break looks a little more convincing on Meta here. I mean, I'll take a quick shot at it. If it holds 92s, I just flip to. We'll go to Brendan in a second. Go, Brendo.
It's a rare occurrence, guys, but gold off a cliff here as well. GLD, the ETF, just popping up on a volume scanner in front of me. You can see at day lows, I guess, just a break of day lows, some volume coming in on GLD.
All right.
Okay, so hit enter twice. Now we're looking at Meta here. Sorry, my chart was still on Tesla, and I was talking to Meta, thinking that's what I was watching. But it's now holding below that 92. And the key thing is that snapback that you usually see on a break at the bottom, it hasn't really happened yet. You're still sort of trending to the downside. Oh, that just filled me at 95. So sort of sitting in the middle of that pocket, 91 to 91.50. Sort of 92 even on Meta as it broke that level. I do want to give it a little bit of room, but I'd much rather be holding on. Beggars can't be choosers. I'd much rather be holding on to the shorts that we had before. But if you are shorting off the low, you want to be careful of that snapback. Like if I'm longing this and giving it 25 cents off of the low, I'm thinking kind of the same thing off of these bottoms. And as a matter of fact, like SoFi, the one thing I wanted to bottom pick, stopped out at the low of the day, so that was pretty garbage. Meta bounced at least one time. Tesla is the other one I'm watching here. That is clean through its low of the day, so this feels like it's still trending. And Li Auto, at least what I've done here is I've pulled my bid, because I'm not really in anything that we had earlier. I've pulled my VWAP retracement. Because if it breaks and the market continues to flush, well, we should be able to take VWAP out, right? If it's the only thing I have left, then I want to give it some more room. And I should be thinking about 16 to 16.10 instead of 16.35. So we're going to hold on to Lee because it happened not to trail me out. That's a little bit of a fluke. I kind of feel like it could have easily gone back to break even and I would have been trailed out of this one. I just so happened, luckily, that I didn't get trailed out of it so I can hold on.
Just trying to figure out some math here because, you know, we are short Meta.
Carry the one.
Yeah, carry the one, divide it by 2 times 14. Okay. So, yeah, 91.60 I just came up with there. See if we can get some downside moves because, again, I want to hold this a little bit, you know, 92.50, 93, something like that. Meta now down 3.5% and still making new lows on the day. So hopefully that can come out. Damn it, damn it, damn it. This is going to haunt me right now because we should still be, oh, man, we'd be infinitely more money, probably almost not double, but close enough, because I wouldn't have given it back trying to go long, because we would still be net short right now. But here we go. Apple's still pulling down, man. I mean, if you're going to go long something, I always think that Apple's the right call. But, you know, we've had a couple days in a row now where it's been some downside pressure. So let's go back over. I just realized I'm on a 3-minute right there. So let's go back to something where we use a little bit more. There's the 1 minute. Just looks disgusting either way there on Apple, as it's starting to make new lows right now. We've just talked about that one. Google, AMD, Amazon, Apple, Uber. Let's check out Uber. Wow, man, Uber today. Wow, I can't believe it's still at $29. We had 29 long earlier. Remember, that was one of our plays, and then it broke 29 and we got out. But actually, you're right back to 29 right now on Uber. Wow, what a good move up to 30 there. Stopped again at that same high and then dropping back down. So right now you're going to get, you're going to get Uber there for a little tempting right there. Here comes Meta pulling back down in. We're now 20 cents in the money. We need a little bit more, obviously. I did that random math there, which made no sense, down to 91.60. So hopefully we get a call down there and get filled. Hopefully it comes down there and we get filled down there. We're only trading equities now. We are not trading options or CFDs or anything. These are the real stock that we're looking at. Look at the TQQs, man. Like, this trade is like, I don't know, 7% in the money? I mean, or more. The TQQs turned hella positive up there. So we right now, I mean, we could do the math. We have $2. It's more than 10%. This trade is more than 10% in the money. So there goes the TQQ, still making new lows right now is the NASDAQ. So let's see how far we can go down. Man, what a bloodbath here again today. Meta, by the way, just bounced, and I don't know what was up with that. We're at 75 is where that just stopped. Yeah, so.
I never like it. So when something happens like that, I generally trim at the quarters and 50s if I see it make a bounce, and then just try to re-enter. So I did do that, but now I can't get the fill back at 92. So we'll see what happens. I'm kind of kicking myself over UVXY. I was going to talk about that next, but you mentioned Meta there at 75. So it's right back up to the top, and every now and then you just have to hold your nose. You know you had a better trade earlier, and you gave it up because I followed my rules. So you hold your nose, and if it breaks the top resistance and we get through 10, I'm just going to take the break. So the 980 was probably the better level. I get that. And maybe when it retook 980, I should just jump back in the trade here. Certainly true. That's obviously true. But if we take out this high, get through 10, we can certainly trim. We got 30 minutes to go here, 25 to the imbalances. There's plenty of time for these moves to continue. And here's 88 breaking on Alphabet as well. Oh, goodness. And someone asked about, like, where are buy levels for these stocks. If you're thinking the long term and your time horizon is 5 years, don't get too caught up in the minutia. If you want to own Alphabet, dollar cost averaging is a thing that I think makes a heck of a lot of sense. But everyone, to each your own. Like, if you're just trading, then levels matter and price matters. So UVXY looking for that break. Going to hold on to the two shorts we have, and then look at Alphabet here, trying to take out that 88 level to the downside. I tried cleaning this up. It just came right back. But 88 to the downside, man, that trail looks awful right now. It is what it is, man.
All of the trails look horrible.
Of course they do.
I wish we didn't trail that, but we did. Right now to the downside. Yeah, look at Amazon. Look at the Amazon trail, man. We got out at 94.70. It's at 92.80 right now, as Amazon just cannot find a damn bid. There is no bids, so there's no even point in looking at this right now. Big time movement to the downside for Amazon, and it is continuing. I mean, it was the trade of the day. Can't believe, as I was talking about it, we got out of there on the trade of the day, but it hit the 200 period, and unfortunately that was enough to jiggle us out. That was a reload spot for sure. Wasn't sitting here, but doesn't matter. That's the trade. And then there goes Meta. I thought I was bidding no, I'm not even bidding 50s. Let's do that on Meta. And again, this is what I mean. When you're taking more shares, you do have the ability to do this, average in and out, but at the same time, you got to make sure that you make the right trades. You want to be able to hold for some of those downside moves. And right now, the market is not showing us any signs of bids. So I feel like this is a good move. We'll take another piece out at 50, and then we'll just hold for lower, lower, lower. I mean, who knows what we're going to talk about? Just a couple seconds ago, I got stopped out. Now everything's $2 lower, right? So why can't Meta go $2 lower from here? I think it can. The market's only down 2.74. It can be lower than that. So let's wait to see. But we are bouncing a little bit here on some Meta. But there it is. Did we just get that, Phil? Oh, we're at 53. It went to 56 right there. Come on, Meta. One more flush, and we should be able to get a bid there, making another 50 cents on this trade.
Yeah, we'll hit this one. There's that market red thing that I don't have, so I'll hit the arrows down. Just broke VWAP on Li Auto, so it's now heading down towards target at 16. but I'm kind of thinking targets almost be damned. The last short I had on this earlier in the day did stall out at 16.15, so I'll watch that level and see what happens. I just got first leg out of the Google breakdown at 99, Alphabet, I should say. So I just tried oh goodness, now this chart's doing this to me. I tried cleaning up that wick. It worked, and now I'm missing some data. But anyways, that 88 break just took the first scalp out. The next one will be in front of 87.50. If you're still watching something like a Tesla, hopefully this will work for me as we go here. Tesla down to 215. Sorry, 216, I should say, 215.77. So it almost doesn't matter what you have here. Just pick something that you like the levels on that makes sense to you. Try to hold something to see if we continue to flush. We just hit 11,000 on the NASDAQ, and we've broken 3,800 on the ES. 3,900, there's your line in the sand, wick top. You're now down through 3,800 on the ES. It is capitulation nation. I just sort of made that one up. But the market heads southbound. I'm holding for 91s on Meta. The level I kind of threw out there, I've been looking for 86 in this move since earnings on Alphabet, and I've kind of been thinking about that as a bit of a potential support level. If we see that, I think that's almost crazy today. Certainly tomorrow, that's going to come into play.
Yeah, so we've, like I said, man, we're just scalping out of some meta there. We took another out there at 50, so that was a good out for us. Actually, it was 56, 55, 56 there, to be exact on meta. So we just don't want to hold this all the way back up like we were saying. So far, so good there on meta, but we do want to look for more trades because the market maybe is bouncing. So let's have a quick look at that. I'm going to get out of one more piece on meta just in case. We'll bid a 70 there. If it comes back in, then that's fine. We do have more outs coming for meta. I mean, we tested the long here at 60. Now it's $1 lower. AMD all the way down to 59. The thing about AMD is it's going to follow the market, but you know they did have that report came out today, and it was pretty good. So the market liked it initially. Don't like it now. That bottom is 58.90. Do we test those bottoms right now? Like I was thinking, like, do we go long and then just get out if those bottoms don't hold? Probably is a good strategy. So let's try that. We'll go a little bit of shares here. Look, if it bounces back up, we want to have it. Our out is 58.90 is the bottom of the day. So we can afford this. Let's try to go a little bit long here in case it holds. If there's going to be one name that we're going to try to go long, there it is. Now we're long at 05 against that 58.90. But every single long, we tried this at 60 as well, and it busted us. So it looks like it might want to do that again here. Let's see what happens at 59. If the market doesn't bounce, this is toast. So there's the break. Let's see what happens here. 59 just breaking now. Give it a little bit of room, but not much, man. Maybe 15 cents.
Yeah, so next leg on the bid here on Alphabet, see if I can get it. But look at even Boeing. I was like, when you said try some longs, I was thinking if we were still at VWAP, maybe there'd be something here. But that's now broken down as well. So I throw that one out the window. It's pretty much gonzo. There's always the chance. And where's the break? Oh, did I not get to fill in UVXY? That's going to... Anyway, so I didn't get to fill in UVXY. I'll check in a second. But we just broke VWAP, but we actually bounced a little bit on Li Auto. So I don't want this taking out 1650 to the upside. I know we talk about trails and you don't love them. It's now 330, so now it's more about time than anything else. Sean and I have to be flat at the end of the day. If you're tuning in for the first time, A, thank you. B, I hope you're enjoying it. C, hit the like and subscribe. And D, we're day trading. We were day trading equities. We have to clear these positions by 4. So that does mean in the money, out of the money, hits your stop, hits your target or not, we do have to cover. So trails to me are always necessary as we head to that end of the day. But UVXY, you know what it is? It's an Amex stock, so yeah, whatever. I have a different stops. My keys are different on Amex. I definitely missed that break. I should have this top end break. That's on me. You're doing you're doing too many things at once. I don't always trade UVXY except on days like this, but that's a pretty darn clean break there when that took out that high. Could have easily had that scalp trade. There's a huge size on the offer, but if you're trading this, size doesn't matter when it comes to this. It tends to be completely useless. It's going to be all about the key price levels and overall market momentum.
Yeah, and wow, it's just so funny because just to stay in the short was completely right. And it's just like I keep throwing back a little bit of money here, trying to catch some of these bottoms, but that's really been a good strategy for me. But you know, right now it's not because there is no bounce in this market. I didn't even realize the time actually that we are getting close to.
Oh, like, early look 400 to buy.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, not so excited about that. But yeah, so early look, so that's a good thing to notice. Neil was just talking about the market on close. I almost said open. Imbalances right there. All right, so again, Meta dipped down. It's right back at its low again. That's something to look out for me. Watching Meta, the TQQs is still like 13% in the money or whatever I said last time, as you can see here. But we are giving it up a little bit now, trying to chase these dreams on AMD, thinking that there is a chance for this to go back up to the upside. This is, again, going to be about a 20-cent hit if it goes back down, which it might just do right now. I don't know if there's going to be a bid here at all for this market. So now that I see this little bump up, we just missed getting some out there. That's okay. We were waiting at 05. Oh, come on, AMD. I was just thinking to myself, like, I don't necessarily want to dig in to these longs, and any kind of a bump up, we want to take a little bit of pressure away from this name, because I don't want to give back everything that we made on those shorts. I'm already a little bit tilted that I got out where I did. Sorry, I'm looking this way. That's where my AMD chart is. I know I have it here on the show, but let's see if it now goes back up. So there it is. Okay, so we got some 05s. Let's see if AMD can make this dream come true a little bit to the north side.
Yeah, so like I said, I took another leg out on Alphabet. Just got to 87.50, so 88 break, just bounced off 50s. The same thing happened on Meta. I have to show my 15-minute for Alphabet, unfortunately. I can show you the 3-minute on Meta. It just bounced off of, it got to 91.40 there, so it did break 50 and heading lower. I am bidding in front of 91 even. I just feel like I have to have a target with time sort of running out on the session. And if you do curl back up, I was looking for the reload. I don't want to reload the short, running out of time to be able to do that. And I think I do have to get out of Li Auto now. I can wait for this to get back up and trail. Forget it. I'm just going to get on the bid here. It's a stronger stock. It's already given me the play. I initially wanted VWAP. It didn't follow through off VWAP. I should be happy that I was able to get the top here. But the key thing about this was, you saw, like, I was long in Google, I was long in NVIDIA, and then when Powell took the podium, I was like, okay, well, the move's already starting to happen. If it's not breaking channel down, what can I get off the high of the day? And I knew it was Li Auto. I could have gone to NEO as well. But to take the profit and run, like, you got to cover at some point. Forget about no one ever went broke taking profit. No one ever made a dime until they covered the trade. So if it heads lower from here, that I can live with. Strong stock. Strong sector, I should say, because everything in China is strong today for reasons. It's all the rumors about the COVID plan or whatever, the reopening plan. That's just a rumor, by the way. I don't think there's anything really solidly coming from that. But I'm going to hang on to Alphabet and Meta. Things that are following the market, the big cap tech, they're still trending to the downside. I want to hold those into the imbalances, see if we can't make some fresh lows on both these two names. But Li Auto is in a different bucket.
Yeah, I'm putting AMD in that same bucket, which is why we're long. We just took some profit out right now, so this trade cannot lose now. If it takes down that 58.79, it cannot lose. We just got them. We got half of them out at 03.04 right there. It's hard to see, but there it is right there. So some dip buys and all out above. I think our best out might have been 8. Well, now we're right up there again. Yeah. So a lot of these actually, yeah, 7, 8s, 9s. We have. I can just check my trade list. We have a bunch of outs. Yeah. So this is where we got out, to be honest with you, is 04s, 05s, 06s, 07s, and 08s. That's just kind of fluky that it happened like that. I was just hitting the keys every time it bounced back up. Multiple minutes that happened. So we'll take, again, some of these longs off the bottom were only small wins. I mean, if it goes, it goes. I don't have any more offers now. Hopefully we can get back up to the upside and have a little bit of a rally into the close. I actually am fine that it looks like we're going to win on the negativity there, because I said short. That was sort of the feeling that I had. I've been talking about that the whole day, that we wanted to go short. Most of my positions today are net short. Mostly all of them, I should say, are net short. What does AMD want to do? Okay, we'll take out another 05 if it goes back up there. We're taking out another 10%. I'm trying to hold that. I'm trying to hold. So right now, forget about what I've done already. I took out half of that bottom trade. That's fine. But now I still have shares on board that we can actually make some money if this goes back up. So there it is. Now we're out. Now we're going to hold 90% of this. We just got some more out at 05. And again, it's only for 15 cents. But let's see now. It has stopped here every time. So can it get back to 59.80, which is that 50 period? I use that for momentum changes. So let's go. Here we go. Hopefully the move's happening right now. Meta. I just don't want to lose on this, so we're going to get out right here. 92, breaks 92. Let's get out of Meta and just ride AMD. Hopefully it can go shotgun back up to the upside here.
Yeah, so I just looked at the market trying to make that bouncy start to come up, and I thought immediately Boeing. Boeing holding some of these lows, consolidating below VWAP, but I don't care about that. I care about where it consolidated. I've already scalped the other two trades, the short side of the trade. So those to me, it's like break even or retest the lows. If I want something to reverse, then I'm going to go with something new, which I like over there in Boeing. If Google gets back above 88, I'll get out. If Meta gets back above 90 or 92, I'm going to get out, which is pretty close, guys. So break even on those. But I just like Boeing for its relative strength. I suppose I could have gone to Liado, but I wanted something that was a U.S. stock, not an ADR. I want to stay away from the ADRs I hear today. So I just got trailed out of Meta.
Oh, no.
Boeing got to VWAP. Looks like it's pulling back. I didn't get trailed out of Google, so I guess if the market reverses here, I'll still have Alphabet. But I just like this channel here on not Alibaba, on Boeing. If we hold this low in this consolidation, the market makes a bottom, I think we can head back up to 150 to 151. This is up 4%. Relative strength I do like in this regard. But bye-bye Meta. Still holding on to Alphabet beneath that 88 level. 89 was earlier.
Yeah, so we actually got pretty cheeky there. We actually got out some at 73 there. Because remember we went over, so I didn't get stopped out at Meta there on 90. I have a 92 break, but it didn't. For me, I was waiting for 92.02. I always give it a couple more pennies, so to not have this happen, but now it's pulling back, so good for holding that one. But we did get out of half of what we had left right here before that move. So there we go. So it only broke by, I guess, 1 penny. So lucky that we didn't get stopped out there, but still probably will back up to the upside. All right, and then we got a good out on AMD as well. Actually, no, that was our last out, was 14. You guys saw me take that out. We talked about that. So we got out at 14. It stopped at 20 there on AMD. So that was 30 cents in the money. So we did make a little bit back there, but we still are now holding 80% of that and still net short on. I mean, look, if Meta cracks lower, I'm going to cancel that bid because there is a chance that Meta comes back into the downside right now. And then our TQQ, not stopped out of that one. I'm just probably looking at 19 right here, but I'm going to use the 50 period, which is 1911, to get stopped out of TQQ. Like if I get stopped out of TQQ, I'm going to make 7 times or more, I would think, on AMD than I am going to lose here on TQQ. So we're already in the money, 12% on this trade. So good job on that one to the upside today, right there. And then we shorted it. Boom goes the dynamite all the way to the downside. So we're going to wait for this 1910 or so to break. This is where you could use a trail in case this continues to fall and you want to catch that slope. But so far, so good here as AMD completely retraces. And yes, good job there as it fails Meta at 92. But look at it come right back down. It sucks because I'm long AMD. Like, I'm not really celebrating this, but oh man, there it goes.
It's like
right
a wash
the
for me
downside.
too.
Yeah.
Because I got stopped out of one short, holding one that came back, but then got into the Boeing long, which hasn't stopped out yet, but it's still inside the range. I have to point this one out because this is what happens when you don't wait for the key level. I like the low of the day on SoFi, but it ends up bouncing off $5. Like the actual even dollar ends up holding here, and then getting the kind of the retracement bounce that I would have liked. You know, it is what it is. It's going to happen to you from time to time. I see a lot of people talking about Apple as well. You're still, you're not in Apple.
No, I got out $4 ago or something.
I know, trending, this is still trending to the downside. Can I go, is this gonna work? Yeah, so Apple has some room to pull back, man. I know it's been a good one, but these lows, like back at like 140 to 142, those were golden. Zoom back a little bit further, there you go. Here's 140 to 142. These were golden support levels for Apple. Look how far away it still is from some of the higher lows that were monster support for Apple. If we see those tomorrow, I mean, I don't want to say all in, but give me, like, if we see that on Apple tomorrow, that 140 to 142, those have been awesome levels. This has still room to go to the downside. That's how strong Apple's been, even down that 3%. I'll let these two resolve themselves. We have 9 minutes till the imbalances come out. I don't really want to add anything. I want to hang on to Google. That's my exposure to the short side. I want to give Boeing a chance to break the channel to the upside here. Like, you can't even... Like, you see my longs in Boeing, you can barely even tell. Like, this is how tight the range is. It is higher lows. Yes, I did short it off the high, but the trend has been holding to the upside. So if the market can sustain a bounce, I kind of figure this one should go. I wish I didn't get trailed out of Meta, but I did. That one's going to continue to work, obviously to the downside. Oh, these wicks on the chart. This is the one. There we go. That's me getting stopped out, and this is it right back at that low. It'll happen to you. I wanted to break even. I wanted to either hold for the next dollar, otherwise, just give it back into that break even on Meta. Unfortunately, it was the latter.
The ladder, yeah. Well, hopefully that market can go up like it was climbing a ladder right now, because we're just taking out some more profit here on AMD. So nice little move back upside right now for AMD, as there it goes into the teens again. So we're 30 cents, sorry, in the money on this trade. Looking for more though. I mean, I still have 70% of this trade because I just took another piece out right there when it just ripped up. We just got I guess another 14. So back-to-back 14s. I mean, I wish we had bigger wins, but it keeps on stopping there, and I just, this is what I do. Hi, my name is Sean. I just kind of get out of things too early. But we'll wait to see now if it does make that retracement back up. It's been a great day, man. We did give some back trying to catch some of those bottoms, and that just hasn't worked out. Getting out of these plays there was bad. I mean, I don't know why. We should have just held on to them, man. Like that Google getting out at 89.20. I mean, now it's down to 87 and change. I put it out the tweet of our positions, and I just hope that everyone was able to make a little bit of money today, because it was a really exciting day. And if you just sort of stuck with the short there, and if that's what, I mean, I don't know if everybody thought short. What was that poll? I mean, now the poll is probably saying, it's still green. So a lot of people trapped there.
I was supposed to stop it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, well, we can stop it now.
I have to log out of my account and go into the other account. That's the problem.
Let's just, no, don't stop it. Just keep it going. Yeah, 7,000 votes. Wow. 7,000 votes. Thank you so much for all that. That's an unbelievable number of votes right there. So yeah, thanks for all that talk. I was thinking red. I voted red. But this is the market, man. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Right now, it is going to finish down red. You're almost 3% on the NASDAQ and 2% on the ES. And look where the ES failed at, man. I mean, this is why you got to do your research and you got to watch out for your levels. It's why I have the ES up. Like that was 3,900, and when it was there, I was like, we're at 3,900, and that's why we put on the Apple short, the Google short, all of that, and it absolutely collapsed. We should have traded the futures there instead, but nice move to the downside there for the ES and the NASDAQ. Oh yeah, by the way, we did trade the futures right now, and there it is, man. The TQQ is a big move. We're still in this. Now that I see this, man, I'm going to get out right here. Well, I mean, 19. We still have our 19, so I've changed my stop to $19, but I don't really want to give up 35 more cents to the upside. So we're short Meta, we're short this, and we're long AMD. So I think I'm going to do this, man. 1880. So we're going to get out if it takes 1880. Let's just not give that much back. We are cheering. I am cheering for a long. So maybe if the market goes up, that's fine. I'm going to put that stop in right now on TQQs. 1880, and I want to thank everybody for watching. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Record number of viewers for our evening show, and just thanks again for watching.
Exactly, and a lot's happening. Obviously, you see the trades going on, the market's moving. It's exciting, and we're giving you everything we got. We do miss a super chat from time to time, so I want to acknowledge ABDI BK there, sending a super chat. Thank you for that. And you're asking, AMD insiders are selling, and you guys are going long. So when you're day trading, like you are just sort of playing short-term momentum, right? Like, look, I get it. Fundamentals matter, and something like that, insider selling, can be a big deal, to be sure. But when you are playing off the level, you're looking at, like, if you just look at the 60 level here, it was big support the last couple of days. It ends up holding, gives you that scalp bounce play, and until it breaks, there is that little channel long. The low of the day, previous to 2 p.m. when we had the release, was at 640. Well, look what happens when it retraces and bounces off 640. It gives you $1 retracement. So you do want to respect those as a day trader. It can mean sometimes it'll look a little bit weird. It's like, yeah, insider selling or whatever the news might be. You're fading off it. I was short Boeing, one of the strongest. I was short Liado. Both those are up for fundamental reasons today. But that doesn't mean as a day trader you can't go the other direction. Speaking of said Boeing, that just broke channel down. So there's me getting out. I did put in the chat there was a big seller spoofing it at my break-even price, so I trimmed some when I saw the spoofer. They ended up being real, actually. They took the entire fill. Probably a good reason to get out. Someone did want to dump their shares there. But it broke the channel down. We're 3 minutes away from the imbalances. I looked to get out at that time anyway. So if it's not going to break out, I don't care. I can hang on to the alphabet short, which, this chart's still kind of messed up for me. But yeah, so the 88 short's still working. It's not the same as short the 90 and the 90-50, but I got trailed out of that one. Brendo?
Notable move in yields for anyone keeping track. During the press conference, Fed Chair Powell was talking specifically about the 3-month and the 10-year yield curve, saying that it hadn't inverted. It has now. So by a couple of basis points, the 3-month yield and the 10-year is now inverted as well.
All right, so just a quick update there. Thanks, Brendo. Yeah, the yield inversion. You're going to be hearing a lot about that, I'd imagine, if you haven't already. AMD takes down 80s there, and so we get out on the 80 break, which is fine because we actually got a piece out there once we broke through 59 again, and then so our last piece is basically where we were in. So yeah, we lose on that last piece, so that kind of sucks there for AMD. We were cheering for the market to go up, and instead the other way, but that's fine. We are in a big trade here for Meta, as that's back down to 91 and change. So we're still holding on to that. We were nervous about it for sure. I got some out there at 91.73 there for Meta, but here we go, another pull down here. Honestly, I know this sounds crazy with 21 or 2 years of experience, but like I'm learning something every day about all these markets. So, you know, trying to make it work out, trying to hit some nice trades here, long and short, but realistically, man, it's stick with the trend. And that's the one thing that like every day I'm trying to learn more and more about what to do, how to make a little bit of money in this market, and the trend has been your friend. Like no matter where you think this market's going, it's so easy to be wrong. And that's like, it doesn't mean that you have to be scared of the market or anything like that, but it's just one of those things where, you know, when you see this kind of destruction happening, it's almost better just to wait. Like, forget about what happened at 2 o'clock, but like wait for these pullbacks right there and then just hit the short and just trust it. Like that's been the play and it's been working. So we're going to try to do that again and again and again as this market just keeps on getting more and more spicy. Like tomorrow's going to be another great day in this market.
And that's sort of the thing. Like we talk about the trend, like if you just wait till like 2:30, here's the SPY here. Someone just asked in the chat, is the NASDAQ at support? NASDAQ is at a support level. I don't know if let someone smarter than me call it major support or minus, whatever you want to call it. It is at a support level, but we are trending into the downsides. If we do get a bounce here, the imbalance is coming at 350. I have a trailing stop on the Google trade. But if you look at what happened at 2:30, you broke to the upside. You're kind of middling around here, going back and forth. There are scalp trades to be had. But once we got to 2:30, look at the spike down, breaking the channel down, and then trend established. For me, that was the point to say, okay, fine, like now I believe in the short opportunity. And then you had shorts all the way along. You had short breakdowns. You had shorts off those tops. You had breakdowns at the bottom. And that's what it was more about. Some things you were able to get at the top because they were strong. Other things you had to chase a little bit, like Meta and Alphabet here. So imbalances in about 10 seconds. Hope you have it up. I'm going to try to pull them up pretty quickly as well. I don't expect they're going to matter too much here because it's all on Fed day. Kind of who cares? We had the month end. Those were pretty big. But I have bunch of mess here. Not a heck of a lot. AT&T, who cares to sell? Ford's a buy for 800,000. Where's any big Apple? 500,000 to buy an Apple. 400,000 to buy an Alphabet. So
see ya, Meta.
No, sell. Sorry, no. That's not even Alphabet. So buys on Apple, sell on Amazon for 400,000. These are tiny imbalances on big cap tech. Very small sell on Meta. Very small.
All right, I got the super chat right here. So a shout out to Jason. Thank you so much, Jason, for your super chat right here. And we'll have a look at this real quick for you. What do we think about Crocs on earnings tomorrow? So like Neil sort of mentioned a little bit about earnings, right? And that is that they are very difficult to say, hey, I think Crocs is going to go one way or the other. I mean, I don't have an insight as to what Crocs is going to do, but is this accurate? Yeah, so Crocs today was 71 bucks, man. And now you're all the way down to 60. It's almost like that's earnings right there. But, you know, here's a move to the downside. I would say, obviously, in retail, we've seen Nike get hit. We've seen, you know, Lululemon and a lot of these names. And I don't know enough about Crocs to say, like, what's up with China with them. But you have a top right here of $81 and a bottom that is right here. I think that these guys could get destroyed if a lot of their production, you just got to look it up. If their production's in China, then you're going to have the zero COVID talk. They're going to guide lower because they're going to say uncertainties happening. So I think that Crocs goes lower, and I just basing that on things that we've seen, man. We've seen some of these consumer goods just go to the downside. I mean, if Google, if Amazon, these are retail names, like Amazon going to the downside right now, probably Gap, Target, Walmart. Like, I just don't see Crocs coming out and saying, we had a great quarter and we expect to have another good one right after that. So we'll see what happens, but for me, it would be Crocs to the downside. And I want to thank you, Jason, for your super chat. You're just right at a tipping point right now. Like, I would be short this name, but it's just got killed right here over the last couple minutes. So I'd be very, very careful with that one. But you know what? We are in the money now. Like just
I just got out.
Just in this trade alone, we are in the money 250 on a $20 name. So this is like right here, 12, 13, 14% of a winner right here for TQQ as that just keeps on tanking. And by the way, look at Meta. This one also could be your trade of the day as this, look where we went short right here, 92. See ya. It didn't take too long to get short on this one. So a nice little move to the downside here on Meta as we break lower, lower, lower. We'll end the day not at our highest spot, but at a spot that we're pretty happy with. Downside goes Meta. Thank you for subscribing and thank you for liking the stream. And if you haven't, please try to hit that for us.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is timber session. So 87 even was a target for me at this point. It's end of the day anyway, so holding Alphabet through a break of 87, that doesn't make any sense. 88 was nice. We did get the trail. It's gonna suck because we started shorting at 90 and 95, and then we got trailed out. But you just get back in at the bottom. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Only thing I'll add on Crocs, I'm a little surprised. Their PE is way better than I thought. But this is a lesson in their PE is 8. You're going to see some actual reasonable PEs, price earnings ratios come in here, but that doesn't necessarily mean just because it gets relatively cheap that it's a good time to buy a stock. You can look at Meta, look at Intel, right? Like that's been cheap for a while, and it was still trending into that downside. I somehow managed to not trade this. I'm only laughing at this because internally, of all the things that I didn't short when the market turned, I somehow didn't short Intel, which got right back up to resistance, one of my favorite levels up here, and is puked, now down to 27.50. It's going to happen. A lot of times I'm looking for something that's more volatile at the end of the day, which isn't Intel, but heck, that set up pretty well. It gave you that 29 as you're out, never even tested to the highs. They're getting absolutely woodshedded recently. So even the strength they had off earnings, if it retests that low, yuck. I did bought at 25. Maybe should have pulled the trigger on selling some when it got up to 29, but it was a long-term play, so I guess not.
All right, I did want to give a big shout out here to our member from day one, 28 months. I feel like that's as long as we've been broadcasting. So a big shout out to Daniel Bender
Close.
right there. 28
That's
months,
close.
man. And just want to say thank you for all you guys do. Easily the best place to be day in and day out. And the amount you learn from us is incredible. So, or you learn from us, yeah, but we learning from you guys every day as well. So thank you so much to Daniel Bender, man. Mad respect to you for that. And thank you to True Trading Group as well for those 50 memberships. Make sure you hit those up if you have not as of yet. We're almost getting out of everything now. So we're $1 in the money. So we'll go. A little couple of awesome trades here as Meta just continues to tank, man. I don't know how low is low for this name, but we might as well just get out at some point. Wow, we got to hit the bang for that, man. Like, this has just been an unbelievable day here, and I want to thank everybody for watching. If you haven't had fun with us, I apologize, but it's been fun, it's been stressful, it's been trading, and that's what we do here. You're not going to find a better show on YouTube, and if you do, PM me it because I want to watch it and learn. But right now, this has been a big move to the downside. I'm just going to cover now, man. I mean, this is a great trade for me. There it is. Ooh, we bid 86 and it runs away from us. Hopefully we get that fill. There it is right there. So out on the TQQs right there. So that was a good trail. Now let's just get out of Meta right here and call it a day. Bang, that's it, man. Oh, Canada is in the building right here. Good trading for us today. Thank you to all of our Canadian friends for watching and everybody around the world. But we have another important day tomorrow, Brendo. It's earnings. Let's go over them.
If you thought today was fun and busy, guess what? Tomorrow's even busier when it comes to how many companies are set to report. Here's what the board looks like coming up tonight and tomorrow morning.
So there's a few names on that board. It's going to be the big cap tech names. We've already got them. So you're moving on to some of the others. Like we get Crocs, we just talked about in the morning. But Peloton, Roku. Those are two volatile names that, I mean, speaking of Peloton here, has been trying to break $9, it seems like forever, but it's really only just been about a month or so trying to break that $9 level. There's always a squeeze potential with that. Look, whether you believe in I don't really believe in the company. I think their best path to success would be to drop to $5 and get bought out. Robinhood's another one that we have to be watching out for. I don't really see too much of anything on that big cap side. I mean, I like Coke, but that's not a stock that you trade. And it's Moderna. That's the one we're forgetting about. Moderna. I always sleep on Moderna. That is a pretty volatile name that we only trade. It seems like whether it's in play, when it's in play is when we go to it, but it's actually a pretty good day trading stock on most days.
Someone says maybe Coinbase is tomorrow. We missed it, but I don't know. Brendan can quickly check that for us. There's only 3 minutes left until the market. If we miss Coinbase, our bad, but there's so many names on there. Coinbase be darn. I mean, if that comes out tomorrow, that's just another name to short, in my opinion, anyways. I just want to give you.
You don't want to look at the chart today.
I just want to give you a quick look at Meta. There was about 800,000 shares on the offer of Meta at 91. I don't see it anymore. Maybe they pulled.
It's aftermarket.
Aftermarket.
Coinbase is after. So when we put the earnings board up there, it's things that will trade for tomorrow. So either reporting tonight or tomorrow morning. So Coinbase is aftermarket tomorrow. I don't know if that was.
Someone asked, but thank you to Jason Funderburk again, man. You're the guy that asked for the Crocs, man. Cute picture for sure. Shout out to you. If you're a dad, shout out to you. Thanks for your thoughts. Nice show, dudes. Thank you so much, man, for that as well. Oh, more questions here. Someone bought Crocs. They're going to be down. I don't think they're going to be down. I'm just trying to tell you guys about what the chart looks like and some of the rhetoric there. Let's see what happens there for $5. Thank you so much. The poll has almost 7,000 right now. It looks like
7,000 on the poll.
Whoever voted red is going to. Ooh, people are now voting red. It was green, but you know.
It doesn't count now.
It doesn't count now. But we already made our bets on that one.
Now.
The red is winning. What's up, Brendo?
Yeah, sorry.
I was just going to mention what Neil was saying there, guys. We show the trade day. So what is coming tonight, and then tomorrow morning before the market opens. So Coinbase is after the close tomorrow, which will be on the following day. So it'll be on the board, I promise, tomorrow.
I was saying under my breath, you don't want to look at the Coinbase chart. There's a sometimes I love patterns. Look at the pattern on Coinbase: spike, drop, spike, drop, spike, drop, spike, drop. This time, it had a bigger spike. That was on the 2 o'clock. But every single open has been the high of the day on Coinbase since this failed break. And I know because I had that breakout at 76 into 78, and the reload stunk. But every day after that, spike at the open, that just fades and fades and fades, and now you're back at $60. So that's one way a stock can go down 25%. Why I'm not short every single day after that, that's a question only for the gods, apparently. But we have Justin on the bell. He is wearing easily the best shirt or sweater for the day, but it's way too early for those. I don't think you can do the ugly Christmas sweater thing this early. I think it's too early. But here's the countdown. It's Justin. Tony is going to be back from vacation eventually, but I hope he's enjoying himself. We're enjoying ourselves here. But Justin, get him on camera. A little drizzy action there in 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Wow. All right. And that ends it, man. I need a couple drinks right now. But what a fun day. I just cannot believe that I gave up some of those shorts. Wow. We could have had just an absolutely monster of a day, but we still had a great day. We've met our daily goal and we're positive. So, and we had a great time on the show with you. So I think it's a win no matter what. But what a disaster day, man, today for pretty much every single name out there. I was looking at my board. I don't see a green stock. There's not one green stock that I watch. Actually, Enbridge is one that I own that's green. There's not one name that I own that's green today, I don't think.
So you have Boeing still?
I have some Boeing, but
that's green today.
Yeah, okay, that's green. Whatever. But Boeing, okay, that's a good one.
Oh, the banks.
Like
the banks.
Oh, are they?
Morgan Stanley's up.
Is it?
Proctor's up. Goldman Sachs is up today. Wells Fargo's up. I mean, barely. They're barely. Like 0.5% on PG. Morgan Stanley's up 0.7. Goldman's up 0.3. But up is up.
No, they're not.
Oh, Goldman is.
Oh, Goldman's up.
Not JPM.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, I own Goldman. But
I don't have JPM up, so it's just I don't have that on my board. That's all.
Yep. Disaster strikes today, guys.
Twitter.
But yeah, Goldman Sachs, a nice little move to the downside for sure. All right, Brendo, how did we finish?
Just a quick note, guys. Qualcomm out already, getting crushed here, down 11% after the close, after earnings. For QCOM, not good. There it is, ugly, 3.5 almost there for the NASDAQ when all was said and done. 2.5 for the S&P, 1.25 for the Dow, as we said, pretty ugly. After Mr. Powell does what Mr. Powell has been doing lately.
I think that just broke the 52-week low on Qualcomm, essentially.
Well,
I mean, what is it?
Join the club.
It was 15% above that like 2 minutes ago.
Unbelievable. Lots of downside moves happening, man. That TQQ is murdered. Meta's down to $90 right now. This market is going to just absolutely just collapse tomorrow probably as well. And it's only Thursday. Oh, God. This is going to be really, really exciting.
Tomorrow's Thursday.
Yeah, tomorrow's only. That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't even have Free Fall Friday.
You messed me up for a second there,
in the board yet there. Here's here's Qualcomm. I went from Snapchat over to Qualcomm. We'll see here on the NASDAQ stock.
Roku beat. Roku's up 10% from the bottom here, up 4% on the day. So Roku, look, they beat, I don't know what the guide is or anything and the actual numbers, but Roku with a little bit of a beat heading to the upside. So, hey, at least Kathy Wood's going to be happy today. I assume.
She ain't.
Well, she's not happy, but she can be happy about this one. I think it's one of their top 5 holdings still. So Roku bucking the trend here as the market capitulates and continues 3.5 on that NASDAQ. And then
What?
it was just at 61, and then reality sets in. So my guess is you get that top, and then you get the reverse. Same thing happened to Meta, right? I mean, Meta looked fantastic for about 30 seconds, and then you're breaking lows. So back to reality.
I mean, Roku right here is just absolutely getting destroyed once again. So there goes Roku.
They were my
See
pick
you later.
Remember we had the companies that was like, this is a company you don't believe will ever get back to the high? Roku was my pick, mostly because I didn't get it. I don't know.
Well, Roku's high was ridiculous. Mine was Beyond Meat as well. Some of these guys, I said Beyond Meat never gets back to 50. Roku may not get back to 50 either. It's at 49 right now. We'll see what happens right now. This is just going to be a lot of fun, man. Roku guided down 97 million apparently there. Yeah, I don't know why that thing's still a bull. It should have been changed into a bear a hell of a long time ago.
It's the cheese head, that's a problem.
It is still going down Roku right now. All right, we just got to end this show, man. I mean, I could stay here all day, that's for sure. Yeah, Kathy Woods, she ain't happy. She ain't been happy all year, so we better send her a Christmas present. There goes Roku all the way to the downside. As Neil said, 61 to 44. That's like 5 years worth there of a move. Just
10% up to 20 down.
Happens in 5 seconds right there. I just want to check another one. I think Peloton has a chance to rip tomorrow, so you'll be able to see that one. I don't know where it's going to go. It's not out yet. Nothing else is out. Qualcomm getting destroyed, Roku getting destroyed. All right, I want to thank Prad. I want to thank Luca today. What a hell of a afternoon show they had as well. Thanks to Lucas, who's doing an amazing job there all by himself on that board. So thanks to Lucas as well there as he's in darkness back over there. All the traders behind us getting ready to get out of there. And a big thanks to Brendan, man. And what a busy day today, Brendo. Lots of headlines coming through. I learned a heck of a lot today again, and I hope everybody did. But anything else to say here, Brendan, before we...
That move in Roku, guys, is wow.
What's it at now?
42.
Yeah, wow, I guess is the word of the day.
Oh, my God.
Or that. I mean, or that, or this.
Maybe the business model just doesn't work.
Fail coming through.
That?
All right, it's 4:05. Wow, sleep well. I know I won't. And we will see you tomorrow at 8:30, guys. Thank you for watching. Ciao.